Together, we'll delve deeper into refining training and placement processes, fostering meaningful connections, and exploring innovative solutions to shared challenges. Let's leverage this platform to empower students, enhance employment prospects, and promote a culture of continuous learning and growth. Together, our collective efforts, we aim to create a dynamic ecosystem where opportunities abound, partnerships flourish, and success is within reach for all. Thank you for your continued support and commitment to shaping the future of education and employment. Let's make today even more impactful than yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that we introduce our esteemed guest for today's welcome note at CareerNexus Day. We have Ms. Vijaya, President of Telangana Training and Placement Office Consortium and Associate Dean at Senior College of Engineering, Hyderabad. With over 2 decades of experience in training, learning, development and campus recruitment, Ms. Vijaya brings a wealth of expertise and insights to our gathering today. Please join us in welcoming Ms. Vijaya to the stage for the welcome note.
Good morning, everyone. After a long day, which extended to long night into the day 2, the day closed a little late, hence we got a little late, but thank you so very much for everyone being here. The day wouldn't start by giving a brief about the new team who is here or a couple of new entries who are here. We had a wonderful day starting off our inaugural event with the great support of our co-partners, I would say co-partners or co-creators, all the partners who have sponsored this event, thanking them. Without thanking them, the day cannot start, I would say. Starting off with welcome kit given by my anatomy team, from Smart Bridge to our title sponsor Smart Interviews, Talent Sprint, we have CV Corp, Pyramid Consulting, 6 Trades, each and every person. VIT Bangalore was a strong, organization that has backed this. Along with that, we have TMI, IMBO, Provast, FACE, IS. We have LitWorks, which has again been a new startup company which is looking out for great aspirations. If we talk about Visual Path, Valmiki Group, and the best part we had was we have Tamil Nadu TTPOC Association also looked at partnering as a networking partner, where they promoted our event in the Tamil Nadu TTO group. We have Maharashtra, Karnataka. If I talk about, I have TPOs who have come from Pan India. So this, in a way, I know national, when we say there are a lot of numbers that we can achieve, but being the first year, we could get that diversity to this place, a place very away from the city. And this couldn't be possible if we have to put up an event like this. The co-partners play a key role, I would say, right from, when we talk about them. They have different offerings, right from Smart Interviews, which specializes into giving the excellent coding talent that we have to talk about, to Smart Bridge, which gives a lot of certifications in association with government. If you talk about Talent Sprint, they have their own niche programs, full stack programs, and other SAP ServiceNow programs that they extend. So CV Part, all the people which doesn't get hired or doesn't get, they train them, they pick people majorly from the remote colleges, trains them and puts them back into the industry. They are doing a wonderful job out there. Private consulting works in CRT events. So having said that, 6 Trades done in CRT again with their own platforms. VIT Bangalore was here to talk about the MBA they do with the foreign collaboration. So they were here to talk about BTech, how they can collaborate, join MBA in VIT and do a dual program in the foreign university out there. We will be talking about, so those were the people who have presented yesterday. Rest all, you would all get to listen, so I will read for the people who completed their presentations yesterday. And they all are doing a wonderful job in their own domains. It's only that we have to map which set of students we should be giving to which co-partner or co-creator, I would say. And thank you one and all for accepting our invitation, being here, and helping me put this program around. And thanks to my entire team, Srinivas, secretary out there, Kiran Kocham, Anil, treasurer, we have Venkat sir, we have Vinay Chopra from Guru Nanak. The entire team who has helped us, achieve these, and we were able to accommodate and host you all so well, I would say. Thank you so very much. I think I'm missing out on some names. So I think my colleague will remind, I'm in the flow where I have forgotten a couple of names. So sincerely apologies if I have missed out on a few names. So over to to get started formally. Thank you so very much. And we also had Saugata from Hexaware who sent out his video, which you all have seen. So the corporate who couldn't make it have given it. We have Emmanuel sir who is traveling is in Greece, he couldn't make it. A lot of people who couldn't come in because of their driver itineraries and all, and TCS and a couple of them, suddenly their hirings have started and are at peak. I should thank Abhishek. Despite the hiring, he was working from the outside, he got mails till 9 o'clock. Despite the work and helping us get those numbers. Thank you so very much. Oh, he's there. I was searching for him. So, thank you to every person who have taken their time and are here, and amazing support that I am getting from my corporates. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's give a big round of applause as we welcome Pyramid Consulting to the stage for an insightful session. Welcome, Pyramid Consulting. I invite Pyramid Consulting onto the stage.
I am Leo, formerly Examly, a seasoned software engineer with experience at TCS and Accenture. Asif is passionate about technology and education. With I am Leo, he leads a team dedicated to empowering students and employees in IT through a developer upskilling platform. Please join me in welcoming Asif sir to the dais for an enlightening session. Let us welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for the response. My name is Asif, and I'm from a company called I Am Neo. Some of you might know us as Examly. We were formerly known as Examly, and now we are called as I Am Neo. Right? So I just have a couple of questions for you, right? So we had a long session yesterday. A lot of people had shared their insights, right? So I just wanted to hear from you, right? A very clear question. What do IT companies expect, right, from the universities or the students? Any answers? Yeah, of course they have I mean, expect a lot, like you might have a couple of points on your mind, right? Sorry? Attitude, okay? Skill, yeah? Yes? Qualified, right? Any other answers? Knowledge, yes. Discipline, okay? Alright? Okay. In summary, this is what the companies expect, right? They want day one productive engineers, right? So they should have the skills and all those things, cumulative, everything put together. Hey, if I'm hiring a student from your university, he has to come here and from day one, he should be in a situation to program and deliver what I am expecting. This is pretty much what they expect. Right? So the next question. What would make a student become a day one productive engineer? What would make a student day one productive engineer? Any answers? Work before he is onboarded to the company. Yeah. Any other answers? Skill to deliver. Strong internship policy. Yeah, fair enough, right? Any other answers? Good. So, we have bucketed into three different aspects, right? He has to be really, really good in his fundamentals, specifically in terms of programming, right? Gone are the days where we look at the resumes, whether they have formatted it well, whether the grammar is right. Nothing works now. We need a live resume, right? Do they have a public portfolio on a project displayed on code repositories like GitHub, right? So that will act as a testament for their skill. The third one is, right, you have the strong fundamentals and then you have a very good portfolio built online, right? Do you have anyone who has authenticated the kind of projects that you have done, right? That is the industry recognized or the global certifications, right? Predominantly some of the top certification in terms of cloud and of course the soft skills as well, like say AWS, Oracle, English core, all of that. This is exactly what we are doing, right? So at IMNEO, the University Business Unit, what we do is we help universities create day one productive engineers through our product called NeoCoda, right? As simple as that, right? And how we are doing it? Through a comprehensive learning model, we call it as 70-20-10, right? Where our focus is 70% on the practice, right? And about 20% of the time through feedback and collaboration amongst the students. And it's just the 10% of the learning part which is dedicated to the trainers, right? So training or facilitation. So we look at more like facilitating and mentoring rather than teaching, right? So that is the kind of model in which we work, right? And we are able to deliver this model through our robust platform, which has auto-evaluation for all the tech stacks, right? So you look at the basic, compiler, whatever that you have, like C, C++, Java, everything. We have a platform with auto-evaluation, right? That is pretty much most of the platforms have, right? What we additionally have is we also have a sandbox environment with auto-evaluation, right? So right from your R Studio to your VS Code editor to your Jupyter notebooks, everything is embedded in our cloud-based platform. The students need not spend time in setting up all those things, right? They can just right away log in and start working on their projects, right? And of course, like I mentioned, we have a direct integration with GitHub, right? Whatever programs that they are practicing in on the platform, the projects that they are building, the codes are immediately pushed to their Git repository, right? And it is available publicly to see what is the kind of projects that they have done, right? So when they are starting this from day one at the college, right? So becoming like a full stack developer. So in the 4 years span of time, they would have built a lot of projects and thereby, increasing the value of their skills in the corporate segment with all these portfolios. And of course, we are the first platform in India to provide cloud labs with auto evaluation, right? So you have the cloud labs, you log into AWS and do it, right? But the test cases and evaluation, it has to be done manually in most of the platforms in India, right? So we are the first platform to offer auto evaluation for all these three, right? So AWS, GCP, and Azure, right? So everything can be done in our platform, and of course we have, since we are gathering so much data, we also have a mechanism to give you insights through that data, right? And we are also authorized training partners, right, with AWS, Oracle, and British Council English Core for all their certifications and training programs. Right? Obviously, your next question would be to say, hey, everybody can theoretically say all of these things, right? So these are the testimonies that we have, right? So we are the hackathon partners for Neural Hack, which is our Neural Hack flagship program. We have been doing it for more than 4 years now, and we are the training and assessment partner for LTI Mind Training, right? What we do is, train their freshers, and all the practices, everything happens on our platform. And we are also the end-to-end recruitment partner for SocGen. Again, it is a French bank, right? So the kind of security and all those measures, we are compliant with all that as well. From the university standpoint, we predominantly associated with most of the universities in India, right? So right from VIT, SRM, KL University, Manipal, all of them use our platform for upskilling their students in different forms. These are the student testimonials, right? We don't have videos where we ask them to share the videos. These are the public testimonials posted by the students on LinkedIn, right? Tagging us. This is the recent Java full stack program that we did for VIT, and all these are testimonials, some of the screenshot of testimonials given by the students, right? So you can pretty much search for IMNEO, and you can see a lot of students are tagging us for the kind of training and platform support that we were able to give them. Right? So partner with us, and we will help your university students and you to create the next generation of day one productive engineers. I'm pretty much available here. Like, I would love to connect with all of you in case if you would like to have a chat about our products and how we can improve the students' capabilities. Right? Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, TTPOC. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the engaging start to today's event. Now, let's move ahead with a panel discussion featuring senior directors from prestigious universities. Please join me in welcoming our esteemed panelists with a big round of applause. Dr. Venkata Shastri from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Biju Rajan from BITS Hyderabad, Dr. S. Karthikeyan from VIT Bangalore, and Dr. N.L.N. Reddy, Director of CDC. I welcome all the panelists to come out to the dais. Additionally, let us welcome Mr. Anil Kumar to moderate the panel. Welcome, sir.
We request Surendra Babu sir also to join us. Sorry for this close. Big round of applause for him. Good morning all. Thanks for having the day here. Thank you sir. Thank you all. I think it was a great day that we had yesterday. Don't we accept all the days? Yeah. So big round of applause for that. The Sheraton Hotel. It's good that we had a good day and we are starting another day again. Just to set the context, hope we all enjoyed the hot sun yesterday. and a cool evening last night, okay, and had the taste of Hyderabadi biryani and the Hyderabadi dessert, isn't it? But hadn't we all, maybe people are from out of the city, thought of having such a flavor here and made the things happen. Hope that might have made the things happen. Fine. So, to set the context, sir, a small line that we would like to work on today for next 20 minutes. What do we think the industries are demanding? Okay. So, the context can be like, what are the changing trends in campus hiring and what industry is looking from academia? Actually, this is a question that we ask the HR panel generally. Now, what are we trying to understand is as per the expectations from the industry. So, what is our understanding and how are we going with it? So, just like to have a discussion, this is not a question particularly to anyone. Okay. So, how can we take it? The question relating to this topic is, what do we think industries are demanding from academia and is a demand fail? So there are certain expectations set by the industry or challenges, particularly to the TPOs. Okay, we want this set of people, this qualities, this set. So it's a challenge for us. So is that fair enough the demand that they are looking at from the TPO perspective, from the academia perspective, and how good or bad we are able to face the challenge? Any one of them. And I'd request a keen observation on this discussion with the HR members so that we can have some kind of inputs or throwbacks from their end.
It's a very good question, sir. Now, the technologies keep on coming and going. It's not about the technology, it's how to prepare the mindset of the students. It's how to tune the students to the basics, where from the basics to the rocket science. It's not about the technology, it's not about the programming language, it is about the problem solving skill and the logic. Thinking of the student should be nurtured from the day one itself. Those days are gone, just 5 minutes of technical interview and HR interview where the student is offered. Already the previous speakers have already required productive engineers where they need to deploy from the day one. So if they want to deploy from the day one, every institute has to closely work with the industry, understand the requirements and then embed them into the curriculum and make them industry ready by the third year itself. With a little bit of fine tuning, we can adapt themselves to the technologies and this thing. The first and foremost aspect what I feel is making the students proactive from the day one itself once they enter into the engineering, and then train them on the technology or the programming language, on the psychology, which make sure that these students where to go, where to settle. That is my perspective.
Thank you, sir.
Morning to all. My name is Vijay. I will talk about something on technology side, which would help you, because yesterday a few students came to me and asked me, sir, we want to know how is the technology is emerging. And yesterday, Honorable TPO President from Andhra said that every 3 years it's going up. So I'm not disappointing the vendors here because you also have to adapt. You also have to get into a new kind of things which is happening in the market. There is a business which is coming $4.4 trillion. It's something which is going to emerge, and $4.4 trillion everywhere from Google, Microsoft, all the software companies are pumping into it. We heard about AI, right? Everyone knows artificial intelligence. Then came the machine learning. After machine learning, we heard something called deep learning. After deep learning, we had something called predictive AI. Then everyone is talking now is generative AI, right? ChatGPT, everyone is using ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT and few of the guys want to send it. I see a lot of nice emails are coming up because students are using the ChatGPT and copying it and sending a mail. And generative AI is now emerging in top of the top. And recently I just was with few of the top Google engineers who are working with them and understand what is the next, where the students has to get adapted to it. That this is called as an LLM, which is coming up, a large language model. And next is a technology which is going to come is called a neuromorphic computing. We have quantum computing. So this all will emerge in a very fast, rapid phase. I just want to quickly touch base on a little bit on LLM. And this will be an eye-opener for the vendors and for the students who are interested. The Google Cloud Platform, GCP, I had an opportunity to just go through that GCP, where people talk about no code, right? No code, and no code. You know what is the next future coding language? The next future coding language is a guy who is good in English. That is something called a prompt engineering is coming up. The prompt engineering is nothing but if you are good in English, if you can give a prompt, write prompts. For example, this event is there. I just need 2 minutes more. So because more technologies that I am talking because a lot of students are there. So if I want to connect this session or this event, I have to go to the LLM, I have to go to the GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and say I want to connect an event. I just type this one. I need a tracker, let's say from the registration to the end of the feedback. Then just I write this English, just one letter. The GCP gives me the entire code either in Java, it gives me either in C++ or in C or in Python. It generates in a fraction of a second where I no need to know data structures algorithm, data, discrete mathematics, nothing. I just give, that's why I said next coding is if should be good in English. The prompt engineers. The prompt engineers where if I say this tracker, I want the complete registration to end of this, it gives me a C program, I just compile it, I can get a software, I can put it in my Android application, I can do it. This is the technology which is moving in. And you see in the recent time, everywhere recession, everywhere Google is talking, there's no job in the market because generative AI and this ChatGPT, the AI, all is going to take away the market. The smart guys who has kind of a smart, kind of good language, understanding the whole thing will survive in the market. It's a survey of the fittest and a survey of technology guys who can prepare it. So be prepared of the future technology which is going to come up. It is not only on your, you think computer science, the market is down and all that. Technology is emerging, LLM is coming, neuromorphic computing is coming, quantum computing is coming, digital twin is coming, and IoT, blockchain. Please go to Gartner, get the report from Gartner, see next 10 years what is the report is going on. Prepare your students to those level, or else you'll be out of the market. And also the vendors, all that, please work on those technology which is coming up to give students on prompt engineering side what is going to happen on neuromorphic side. That would help the students and for the vendors to sustain in the long run.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to agree the discussion, sir. Sir, I have a very reserved question for you. No, I would like to also to share your thoughts. A special question. Before I come to that, maybe Shastri sir, I would like to ask, what do you think industries are demanding from academia? And is the demand from the industry to academia is fair enough? Are we able to face that challenge? And are we able to prepare our students on demand what the industry has?
You what? There are recruiters here. Everybody here. But let me start this way. First, thanks to Telangana TTPOC, my friends out there, for putting us here, putting up this forum. Thank you so much. The point here is, I remember my guru, and he's also a guru to many people who knows him as Ganapati Avasar. He used to tell, whenever there is a media question on industry relevant skills, he used to say first, bullshit. That's the word he used to use. I used to say, sir, we are talking to the media. He said, don't worry. He said, as universities, as academia, we have to prepare a good clay. Making a doll out of the size and shape that is required for the industry is the industry's business. Because they have to invest there. In India, people talk from the other side. This is required, that is required. But is that is available in academia here today? Is the point. Right? So we have started, all of you know, it's a very fact here, we have started courses in computer science, in AI and ML, blockchain, gaming technology, but do we have faculties trained in that area to deliver that specialization to that student who has selected them? We really don't have. The industry, do they have? Very frankly, I'll tell today, if anybody from TCS is here, see, for any technology, anything which you want, you look at TCS, they should be able to provide you, because that is the type of consulting they do, that is the type of capability they develop. For blockchain, I wanted to put up an FTP for my faculties. It is becoming highly difficult. It's becoming difficult. Today we don't have trainers coming from industry to set a use case for us. There are very few companies who have brought into that. But blockchain and AI, ML is there across the country in all the engineering colleges. The other side of it, I thank all of you for putting up such forums for the purpose only, this type of forums. How many engineering colleges are there in and around Hyderabad itself? Can all these companies that are grounded in Hyderabad, can they reach out to all these colleges? Not possible. We talk about this industry should be there in academics, but the number of colleges, the demand we have in this country, the number of students who are aspiring to be engineers, connecting them to the industry requirements, many forums and many of our partners here, the co-creators, the sponsors, they have a huge responsibility. They are also carrying a huge responsibility on their shoulder, reaching out to those colleges, those students who are not directly connected with any industry, to bring in that value in them so that they are. It is anyway extra in your curriculum. We need to address the learning curve. First thing, the shorter the learning curve we can ensure for a student, he will survive the best in the market. Learning, lifelong learner, shorter learning curve are the two important things which we can imbibe into our students. We will do justice to their career, and I call it as a protein career. Always I use this word. A career that they can command themselves, not the career that a corporate offers. Today, a corporate is existing based on some technology, some domain, some assumptions. Tomorrow, they also will go to some different line of thinking. At that time, they may not be offering the same career paths that they've offered in the PPT as a student. The student has to survive the weather every day. It's required that they should. Generic skills are most important. Then he can become a T-shaped individual or a comb-shaped individual or a 360 degree which we have got. All these are words which we put into our mouth and we can work on it. My demand to industry is simply that whichever use cases you can generate and share with us, we as forums, as the placement officers who are reachable to you next door, we will definitely ensure we will carry it out to the other colleges and other schools, because we need a multiplier effect in this country, which can happen through these forums. Thank you so much, sir. I think I answered your question.
Yes, sir. That's great to hear. So we have a submission to all the HRs over here. So it's that the academy is ready, as rightly said, with all the basics and the fundamentals or fundamentals that are required for a student to be on. But to take it and to meet the industry demands, we require certain kind of support or some kind of mentorship back from the industry to the academia, where the career gurus or so-called TPOs will act as a bridge to make this happen. So we are the warriors who are coming to make this happen. Right, sir?
Yes.
Sir, would you like to add a word on that? I keep it in a simple phrase, sir. For academicians, we are winners. For students, they are gods. They are both God and devil, sir. Actually answers my next question, sir. What you have done is, that actually answers my next question. So what is that we need to prepare on the students? So would you like to add?
I just want to know how many TPOs are there in this. I'm going to address this only to the TPOs. So what some of the best practices, some of the best practices which I do, where you can also look into it, is whenever recruiter comes, they do a pre-placement talk, right? And make sure the faculty is also to join the pre-placement talk. It's a little difficult side, but still we make the faculty also sit the concerned faculty. Let's say someone is from the mechanical engineering, they're coming for a supply chain role. We make that concerned faculty who's teaching a supply chain role is going to be there. And that's one. Second one I do is during the lunchtime, when you take the recruiters for the lunch, make sure that you have a lunch on with your faculty fraternity and ask the recruiter to tell the feedback of students where they are. See, when I get a feedback, go back and tell, they say, boss, we know what kind of product we are getting, all these things. So when they come and say, these are the technical areas where the students we found lacking. So what happens is they are hearing from the horse's mouth. They say, recruiter saying, they say, this is something which most of the students are not finding and all that. And you identify the gap and alongside with your faculty and the HOD or whoever, start working on some program for them to upskill. So this will help them to understand because the recruiter is telling what is there. And third, also collect a feedback form. Design a feedback form and towards the interview, find out how
this actually now poses a challenge. Attention Code TTPO committee, VM and Srinivas sir. Maybe this is the discussion that is happening, which may lead us for the next challenge, maybe next 100 days. Okay, that we need to have the theme set, maybe next 5 minutes. So what is that we are going to create the next event or the next discussion? On this discussion, as rightly said by the panel members, that we want to make sure how do we involve and make ourselves to the next level and make others come to our level and make the things happen. Maybe we have 5 or 10 minutes time now, we can prepare on that context. Yes. So we have that.
So these are some of the best practices which I adapted. So this also makes the confidence for the recruiter. Yes, I have given the feedback. After next year when they come, they see there is, yes, it's about same set of students are there. There is some kind of improvement happened. And the faculty also become responsible because the feedback has got it from the recruiter. So make sure that you involve the faculty during the lunch hour, doing the pre-placement talk. Make sure of getting a feedback and make sure the follow-up is happened and put forth. When you start following, make it black and white. And tomorrow you guys will not be in the point, what do you call it, finger pointing, or they will not, name game will not happen. Right? This is for the teachers.
Now, in the interest of the time, sir, now I have a dedicated question to you, sir. So with all your experience that you have, so my kind attention as NTPOs or the TPOs who are working on, nothing big, sir, very small. We'd like to understand from your experience, how do you think that trend in hiring, I don't mean by the process, by the way of technology or the need of the industry, is it changing, has been changed and is changing and how it is going to happen? What are your predictions on that? Based on your experience, purely. Nothing on the operations or the process, purely on the technology side.
So very good morning and I congratulate the TTPOC Association for organizing this event, bringing all the stakeholders to a common platform to share their thoughts which will benefit all the stakeholders. So thank you very much for the organizers and inviting us also. So the thing of what I see over a period of time, we see the technologies, today technology are going to phase out. Tomorrow new technology will emerge. That's going to happen continuously. The world will continuously emerge into new world. Number two, I also see that degrees become irrelevant. Skills are going to be more relevant in the future. And also I also see that they look at students, jack of all trades, master of one. Like your IPL 20K. They should know the bowling, batting and also fielding. So then there are specialist bowlers and batsmen. The students also, they should knowledge of all technologies, but they should be specialist in one of these emerging 4.0 or digital industry 4.0 technologies. There's specialists like cloud, cybersecurity, or IoT, or AIML, blockchain, any of these digital technology. So there should be a specialist. So that one more thing is that students who come to third year, final year, by the time they should have at least 2 industry approved certifications. They should have their scores or ranks on any of the problem solving platforms like HackerRank, LeetCode, CodeChef, any of these platforms. They should continuously solve problems on this platform so that the scores will improve, and it is observed and it has been observed by the companies. Okay, the scores will go to companies. Fourth, next thing is that in the future, I see some of the product companies like Microsoft, Google, or Amazon doing a lot of hiring from the career portals. So I also see from our institute, students from the second year, they started applying. They are looking at the career portals, the careers at Microsoft.com or Google.com. They are giving a lot of internships, student internships based on skills. So students are applying and they are getting their summer internship, which is converted into TTPOC, the rate of 30. So this also happening continuously. One change I see, students want to get into product companies, it's all happening on the career portals. Next thing is that students have to develop the profile on LinkedIn. It's a professional platform. So they have to update their profile on this platform regularly or whenever they build their skills. Okay? Which are continuously under radar. So I think this is what I'm predicting. Okay? Future degrees will not have BTech in mechanical, BTech in computer science. So they'll ask whether you are a cyber security specialist, whether you are a blockchain specialist, whether you are an IoT specialist, whether you are an AI specialist, or you are a cloud specialist. So this could happen in the future. And I see that all the stakeholders here, the HR fraternity and the what we call parents fraternities here and academic fraternities here, that there should be continuous interaction between these. See, I see that this year AICT has lifted the cap on the intake in any of the programs. So I think this has been not done with a dialogue between industry, academics, and the government policymakers. I think there's never went, the think tank has not went through all the stakeholders. Recently, I asked the Vice Chairman of AICT this question, on what basis this cap is lifted of admitting students into a branch without any limit. So they said there was a session, but we have seen that today, yesterday I've seen an article in Times of India, how the placement in the top premier institutions like IITs, NITs are slumping. This is slow down even IITs and NITs. So I think when the demand is there, you should not find any student from this premier institution left unplaced. But at one time, the government policymakers like apex bodies like AICT, which is named that, there is a demand, that's why they lifted the cap. At the same time, 2024, we are seeing how the decision is getting affected. And so last 2 years, the major service providers like TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Cognizant, LTI, Mindtree, they're not visited close to the campus. 100% they've not done any campus visits. So I think in this context, there should be a dialogue between all the stakeholders. That is, apex body like AICT, who governors or regulate the entire technical education in the country. Number one. Number two, the MHRD, Ministry of HRD. Then the industry bodies like NASCOM and ASSOCHAM or FICCI, there should be CA, Confederation Indian Industry, and all the academic partners. So there should be a very big platform to discuss what the industry needs next 5 years. What are the expectations from the students? How to skill them? How to integrate that skills as part of the curriculum? Why it should be, the students should learn as separate? Because it's smart interviews. Most of CPM students, they are smart interviews. So why it should not part of the curriculum? Why students should spend some more hours, extra hours? This is a burden to the parents and the students. So all these skills should be part of the curriculum. It should not be separately, because industry should give what are the requirements and should be integrated immediately as part of the curriculum, deliver them to students, skill them, hone their skills, okay, foster that culture in the institutions. I think nurturing future talent will be definitely will be successful. India will be a super power in technology space and what you call providing real talent to the entire planet. Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you for that line.
Sir, in a nutshell, I'll tell you in a lighter note, don't take it hard. The expectation from the corporate is like a Bahubali movie, but the student commitment level is like a BJP movie. That's it.
Truly, sir. Sir, it's a nice kind of experience that you have shared. So, hope the industry over here, the HR fraternity will accept that what was said is true and that is going to be the way forward based on the experience. And we would like to have a couple of questions from any of the industry leaders. Maybe the discussion that is going on, is it on the right line or anything? What we can go ahead with? I'm sure what it is. Anyone, sir?
What we are doing to the students in aspect of that, to how they are ready to build the confidence talking in front of client, and because client will not just take like that, they will do their own interviews and checks. So that is where we have a problem coming from the business, saying that though we have trained, we have the excellent students who are good in tech and everything, programming, but when it comes to client interfacing, they are all no confidence speaking in front of them.
Before that, I request everyone in the hall to stay quiet. I think we are getting some real inputs from this discussion.
So the first and the foremost thing is, I think only 2 minutes to answer this. From my perspective, we are actually thinking that we have to do everything in that 4 years of engineering where they walk into our schools, college. But we are forgetting the 12 years which actually builds the person. That is the formative years. The 4 years which they come here is only for honing their technology perspective and things like that. We are actually forgetting the schooling. I was in a panel where Dr. Vedras was there, who was the Vice Chancellor of Anna University. He said very clearly that the first 50 years of engineering was, we invented everything that destroyed this planet. Next 50 years of engineering, let's see that the constructive technologies will come up and ensure the universe is a proper thing. There he made a point also that the primary education is one which is most neglected in this country, and that has to be taken up very seriously and sincerely. That we get, but by the time they come to engineering, they must have already been standing in front of 5 people and talk. That confidence they have got. But we are trying to sandwich here in this 4 years, which is actually becoming difficult for all of us. At least for premium schools, we so-called premium schools with so-called logic, whatever it is, we get a few percentage of students who has that confidence, and they have the ecosystem where they try to generate it for the rest of the crowd which they have. But others who are there in other towns and stratas of this society and cities, we need to work out, and this type of forum should help reach out to them. That's what should be one of the ideas they should have. And as Sir rightly pointed out, today we need to ensure that our student is an IPL player, not a test player. No more Mahendra Amarnath batting, you must have seen yesterday. The fellow bats for 3 days and makes 50 runs. Doesn't work out like that. So, very rightly pointed out, these are also set about feedback and how we ensure that how the faculties are also tuned up to expectations and work. I think that's where we all should work out. If anybody wants to add more.
As rightly said, sir, maybe this should enhance the point for our contact. The schooling of 4 years, what is happening, is actual requirement which is getting. I think the government is working on that on the name of NEP 2020 to set the same context. The implementation is not it, sir. Rightly accepted. The implementation is not it. But most of our colleges directly or indirectly started implementing that in the way of making students ready for the industry. But when it comes as a government policy, maybe days are not too far, maybe within a decade, this space is going to change. So we need to be working on that, and we need to change ourselves. Maybe the younger TPOs out of the hall should start working out, and the faculty also need to turn as a TPOs maybe in the future.
One last point I want to make. Once I was sitting in a B school, I was looking at the curriculum, not they had the autonomous school. Whatever they delivering is enough or not. They have 44 subjects in 4 semesters. This is also required, that is also required. Somebody says psychology, that is also required. Or behavioral, that is also required. Like that, many subjects are getting added up at that level in an MBA. We require so many subjects are not the biggest question. People have different opinions or different things.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Jack of all.
I had this problem statement, Stanley said 3-4 years before COVID when I took over. The first thing when they come, students come to the placements, they say this company is come. First thing is they do is they press the panic button. Even the 9-pointers, very good in the technical skills, they have done a lot of work late. When they hear the company, when they hear the package, when they go get the role, first is the panic button they get it. And because of the panic, because of they get into a kind of, they're not in the sense of mind. So first thing is, as a TPO, you should make sure that these people are not getting into a panic mode, number one. So what you have to do for not getting into panic mode, which are the things which are done, may be useful where you can also put it. This was a problem statement.
Sir, maybe these are all the points that we need to reserve for our next agenda, sir. We need to have some points to discuss. So we are running out of time, sir.
3 points are there and it can be helpful for them.
First
thing is when they come to the panic mode, please encourage your faculty to ask questions to the students. In pre-placement talk, when the company is coming and presenting, make sure sometimes this keep it confidential. I have written the questions and told them to ask. There are times we have told them you please ask these questions. So encourage the students to ask questions. This would help them to come out of it. Second, form a lot of clubs. You make sure that you are forming a clubs inside, like a coding club, like your consulting club, for your hackathons. So make the club culture within your campus and try to bring in a lot of external people to come and to ease the panic or get that kind of relevance or get a lot of trainers who come there who could sit with them. So if you could help them to come out of the panic mode, from the depression mode, we have 80% of the students confidence level. So we have to work on those.
So maybe in the time, can we have one last question? Yes, sir. Please. Somebody pass the mic. Ma'am, we will be closing the meeting.
Yeah, this is Ganesh. So we'll be talking about feedbacks. Feedbacks you're receiving it now. What is evolving now to feed forward? What sir is also talking about is, you are aware, we are aware. Our students are aware. So the strengths of each college, just talking to Surendra, he says we have Center of Excellence. Now tell me, Center of Excellence is limited to the particular company which is set it up. Okay, are we challenging that because of this, the students are also, the peer learning is something which is missing. The same thing going to happen in organizations. So the first day somebody is talking about the preparedness is also about the peer learning. So take the feedback, but at the same time, give organizations a feed forward. Okay, next 6 months or the next year, the student's mindset is this. Give. But are you something that you are prepared towards it? So I would really want to see that kind of a transformation from feedback to feed forward.
Yeah. So in this context, I would like to share you that feed forward. Today, companies started hiring on a different mode. Started hiring on specializations. They are looking at data specialists. They are looking at cyber security specialists. They are looking at IoT specialists, cloud specialists. So CP now institutes can now give a feed forward that we have this bank of students with this particular specialization. So all top companies today, IT companies, started hiring on specializations. So differential hiring, it's called differential hiring, services and specializations. So all specialization, if you have a bank of that, okay, what is your bank of students under each specialization? If you can do that feed forward to the companies, they'll come and hire the students based on PEGA, which is PEGA certified. if it says I have 100 students, beta certified. So beta definitely is going to come and hire some of the best of the beta certified students. Similarly, students we have a AWS certified. So if you have 100 students, so give them and feed forward to the company. So we have this branch of students, each specialization, please come and hire. Definitely companies are going to accept that offer, feed forward offer from the institutions.
Thanks for that, sir. So we would like to formally close this session. I will give you, sir, a punchline from Sudhir sir is on demand. A punchline is required from your enriching, sir. Just a line.
Whenever there is a requirement for the corporate, you should look at the associations which are spread across the country. Let us collaborate with the association. The associations are moving forward for the equal opportunities for all the institutions, not an X or Y. I always, from the bottom of my heart, I expect the corporate to work closely with the association and get equal opportunities for the students of entire states, get the best out of the best with the help of the association. Thank you for all your cooperation.
Thank you for having us, sir. So I'd like to conclude and say that, so we as TPOs or the warriors referring our institutions are ready to face the challenge from the industry. So is the industry ready to give us the challenges and we work together on the same lines? Is what is going to... Okay, are we ready?
Siddhama.
You have few people, sir, maybe not.
This is a tagline of YS.
Great. So I hope we can come to a conclusion of this. So thank you all. And thank you all the participants for patience present and for all the people who have participated to be part of it. Thank you. Maybe we had a request to you, ma'am, 15 minutes back and we gave you 10 minutes additional grace time. So what is the context that has been set? You have anything in your mind? Would you like me to add on that?
So,
100 days event.
yes. So the 100 days event that we spoke about yesterday, we will be, so sorry I forgot to mention that as well. So the 100 days, we are from the Telangana training consortium, we have decided that every 100 days we will be doing an event, not one in a year where we forget of what we have set the context. Remind us that where we want to go. And the next theme that we want to go with will be national education policy. I would task again to brief that, but before that I would say when I have one of the consortium, I would say I would be proud of saying that I have 2 doctorates who have given me an opportunity to lead. I have my secretary who is Dr. T. Srinivasa sir, and yesterday my other panel, Dr. He submitted his, defended his PhD yesterday. So I have 2 so strong people who are academicians already on the board who are TPOs, and Anil himself is a great teacher. So I think over to you, Anil, to close the panel.
Also, the conclusion of the outcome of this panel discussion is going to be something unique, sir. So, with my thoughts and put the things on, maybe with corrections, the next event, so-called, we want to plan it maybe every 100 days we want to do an event from this consortium. So, it is going to be the role of the career guru, the TPOs, in implementing the National Education Policy 2020, which can actually narrow the gap and also make more people aware of that. Wherein we also want to pull not just the TPOs or the career gurus. Career guru is a term that we want to not just dedicate for a TPO, but also to the academicians, which is the future that is going to happen. Hope we are good with that. And this is the context that we are setting for our next event. I can say that this is the outcome of our program of this panel discussion that we would like to work on that. Are we all good with that? Yes. So that should be great. This really encourages us to make more such events happening. Thank you very much. Maybe time for felicitation. We will request Ashok sir also to join for the same. Yes, sir. Please. Ma'am, please join us. Kiran sir, if you are available. Venkat sir. I couldn't see. The core committee is really struggling a lot to keep us comfort. They are moving in and out. A big round of applause. Sir, please. Just. Vinay sir, are you here? Vinay sir? I couldn't see him in his sweet spot. I missed you, sir, at that corner. You had a sweet spot yesterday. You were so visible. I saw you in the morning also there. Okay, time for a picture. This picture is going to be the proof for the next event. This is where we are starting. We have just laid the foundation stone. Right? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for the insightful panel discussion. Continuing the momentum for our insightful panel discussion, we now have the privilege of introducing Mr. Vishwanath Raju, Head of Talent Acquisition Operation at ANS, with over 2 decades of experience in global talent acquisition and strategic human resource planning. Mr. Raju has spearheaded transformative initiatives, including setting up new global capability centers and enabling talent acquisition across various domains and geographies. A holder of PhD in Artificial Intelligence and Human Resources from Geetham Dean University and a graduate of the Postgraduate Executive General Management Program from Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. Sir's expertise in AI and talent acquisition is unparalleled. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vishwanath Raju to the stage for the house session.
Thank you. We had a very good session in the afternoon. I think it kind of made us think slightly differently. Can I have the presentation, please? Thanks for the warm welcome, ma'am. It's actually Vishwanath Raju, but that's fine. Priya, ma'am, thank you very much. But I forget thanking you after the session. That's why I'm thanking you ahead of time. Preeti, ma'am, I can't see you. Thank you very much for inviting me. Okay, so there's always a constant debate between should academia think ahead of industry or should industry think ahead of academia. What do you think? What is your thinking process? Should academia think ahead of industry? Yes? How many of you say yes? 2 people, very good. Should academia just follow industry? How many of you say yes? How many of you have experience working in the West, US or any other countries? How many of you agree with my statement? The American universities are ahead of industry. How many of you agree? Okay. So we always say that we are ahead of US, right, in various contexts. Then why is not academia? We are not going to solve problem, don't worry about it. But then why? Okay, so I've done a research close to 100 companies I spoke, 100 universities I spoke to, close to 30-35 in the US, around 25 in the UK, and 50 in India. These 50 are, I think 5 or 10 from IITs, few NITs. SRM also was part of that study, sir, and few VITs and all that stuff. So I'll talk about my study. We'll go to the next slide. So do you know what is the future WWW? Yes, no? It's very tough to be monologue, right? It has to be interactive. What is WWW of now? Work, workplace, workforce. Do you think future of work is changing? Yes, no? Yes. Why? The way work is happening is changing. Okay. Do you think workforce is changing? Yes, why? You are sitting here, but then evening you can go and become a swim coach, and later you can become a dance coach also, right? So agile workforce, right? Workplace, is it changing? Yes, no? Work from anywhere. Ma'am, you were talking about somebody was approving the offer sitting here for Cognizant for the people to join on Monday, right? Work from anywhere. So there is a concept called as hybrid paradox. This is a coined word. So it is changing rapidly, right? So is it our important responsibility to change the future of workforce also as an academic institution? Yes, no? Thank you. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, these are the 10 pillars. How many of you have industry board, industry board that is set up with your academic institution? Do you have industry people part of your board? If you can raise your hands. How many of you think what is this industry board? We don't even know. Right? Okay. How many of you universities agree for minimum 3 to 4 internships? Yes or no? I see some. Okay, very good. Do you think India is going through a challenge where a lot of people are stopping their education after engineering? Why? Right, so there is no research work happening in India, right? So if you inculcate a product called international paper, would some of those people start showing interest in academics of doing masters and all that? Thank you. Corporate research. So a lot of colleges when I went there, they showcase a lab. This is AstraZeneca lab, this is Oracle lab, but I have not seen any student in that lab. What is the use of a lab when there is no research happening in that lab? There is no work happening in that lab, right? Then, how many of you have corporate research, corporate student mentoring program? I know of a university who have 15 corporate mentors who mentors 15 students, and they ensure that these 15 students get a job. Is it easy enough? Okay, right? Startup incubation. How many of you university have startup incubation? Real startup incubation, not for the namesake, not for the poster program. Right? Infrastructure linked market. I always want to be best, but do I know the best institution in the world in IIT Madras? How is the infrastructure of IIT Madras when it compares to? Do we do that study? Right? Then future tech labs. Can you tell me any of the future technologies? Gen AI, right? Now, do you have a small lab to just make sure the students learn the technology? Right? And faculty extension. I know of a university in India, they send 4 to 5 faculties to the industry for 3 months, and these guys come back. Right? And global faculty exchange program. Right? I'm sure some of the universities do this, but then I've seen some universities who actually have international professors come for 6 months to India. Right? There's a lot of knowledge transfer and all that. Yeah. Right? So student exchange program and faculty exchange program. Can you go to the next slide, please? So see the skill report of World Economic Forum. So can you see the ones in green here? What was relevant in 15 has not become so relevant in 20 and not become so relevant. So every time it changes. So it's important. What is the skill report talking about 2030 now and start for the first year engineering students, right? So we'll go to the next slide. So this is what I wanted. My sincere request for all of you as a training and placement officers to go back to your universities, talk about critical thinking, creativity, analytical thinking, software skills. Design thinking is very much essential. So ask them to solve problems using design thinking, right? Then certifications are very important. Me as a HR guy, I would like to see a certification link on the resume, right? It will actually make a lot of sense. And finally, startup incubation and then continuous innovation. So corporates, the education institution should run like a typical, continuous innovation centers, not education institutions. They have to constantly challenge their innovation ecosystem, right? You go to the next slide. So I would like to have a university to run like this. They should run like an innovation center, They should create entrepreneurs and not job seekers, right? They should have a Gen AI school. They should also have differentiate between skill and experience. Most of the times you will see that a 4-year experienced person from the industry is not as good as the 3rd-year student of engineering. That's what is coming through today, right? And if you have learning ecosystem, future skills, this is a mix of all. So as an engineering or management institution, you should have this kind of ecosystem within your policy. It's very easy to say, but it's hard to do. Okay. Go to the next one. You can scan this, understand how you are doing today, and then you can get help from some of the industry people. You can help you to get better. I'm okay to take any questions you have. I have an hand raised. Can someone pass the mic? You can actually scan this code to check your own maturity as an institution. Somebody from last. So I was given 10 minutes. I don't know whether I crossed 10 minutes now. Huh? Oh, okay. Big kudos to SRM, please. So my suggestion to you, sir, is let them not have design thinking as a subject. Let them make design thinking as a way of life. Right? Okay, thank you again. All the best, and I am here for any questions after this and lunchtime also. We would like to hear more from you. And thank you very much, Priya ma'am, and then Kriti ma'am. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Let me now introduce LitWorks, a premium training company focused on litigation support and e-discovery. Having certified nearly 1,500 professionals, their commitment to staying abreast of industry changes ensures legal professionals are equipped with essential skills. Let us welcome LitWorks to the dais for invaluable insights.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me here. I know it's getting to lunchtime, so the faster I am, I think the better it is. So, I'm here to essentially share a few thoughts that have shaped our work, share a few concepts that we are working on. In terms of own background, I've cut my teeth on assessments for the last 23 years, so it's been a long journey in assessments. So let me start with sharing with you what exactly we do. I want to talk about two essential things. The first question that I have for you is on psychometrics. I'm sure many of you as colleges use psychometrics in some manner or the other. My question to you is, why would you want to work with psychometrics? What makes you think psychometrics matters in your college? Why psychometrics? I'm sure you've done behavioral assessments, you've done a lot of assessments for students. The question is, why use psychometrics? I'm guessing that silence is a great answer for that, in the interest of time. So let me, where the slide changes? The next slide. Yeah, can you just move that along? Yeah, just stop it there. The first submission that I have to make is that the psychometry is all about potential. It's not about your resume. You must understand that at an early stage, a resume is absolutely no indication of potential. Would you agree with that? Let me just talk to you, sir, because I think you are looking at me right now, so I think it's easier to get a response from you. The resume at an early stage absolutely indicates nothing of potential. Should we kindly flip the clicks on this? Yeah, the next one. Yeah. So there is a study which clearly says that education as a correlation with work performance is as low as 0.1. And the actual things that matter are areas like behavior, cognitive abilities, and these kind of areas. Now, how do you showcase the potential in the student if you cannot understand the psychometry behind the student? And that is really where we started our journey. We said, what is it that students need to have or understand before they can become effective at work? So the question really is, what makes students effective at work? And for that, there are so many questions, there are so many different things that campuses are doing. There is nothing consistent about this area. So for example, if you look at what people are thinking about, I keep meeting campuses. Some people think, should we look at personality, should we look at cognitive abilities, should we look at culture fit, should we look at programming skills? What is it? Is it all of it? Is it none of it? And in our view, and after the 2 decades of research, I think what really works in our view is it's actually a combination of 5 different factors. The first factor is all about your behavioral work style. Now, each one of us is gifted with a particular work style. So, depending on whether the job works to that work style or not, you are successful, happy, otherwise you are not. The second is about your cognitive abilities. The third is about your EQ. The fourth is about your culture preferences. And the most important is that in the industry, at the early stages, there are about 20 industry competencies that typically work in making somebody effective. It is a combination of all these 5 that actually makes a student effective at work. Unfortunately, today, what we have is, if you need to run this for a student, you need to run 5 different assessments. So what we did at LitWork is to spend about 2 years in developing one single tool that would actually help to understand the student from all these perspectives. And that is really what the LitQ psychometry is about. And move the slide, please. Yeah. So it is 5 success factors measured in one experience. What we also did is, because of the student population, we moved them into a game. So all the students have to do is to come and play the game for 30 minutes. And at the end of the game for 30 minutes, we have the insights into all these 5 dimensions completely. The second thing that we did was to ensure that it aligned sharply to company expectations and to some requirements that colleges may have. For example, we have turned this around to understand faculty psychometrics. We have done a lot of things here to be able to help understand how colleges can invest in the development of the institution. So that's the second thing that we did. And there are development guidelines available for each of these competencies as we go along. So in a nutshell, LitQ is nothing but a 30-minute game the students play to be able to understand their success factors. So that is really what LitQ is about. And you move the slide. Please move it. All 5. So essentially, based on a lot of research and science that went into it, happy to share this if somebody would like to practice. But in essence, the guiding principles are, the more assessments you combine in one, the more effective it is for predicting the work. Second, it's a game-based experience. It goes around the resume, and finally, it is meant to be bias-free. And we move the slide. So we had in the last 8 months, I think we had the opportunity to evaluate almost 100,000 students on LitQ. And I think for us, it was extremely gratifying to find that the response, the feedback that we got, more than 80% of students that we met said it was interesting, it was useful, it was accurate, and we're happy to recommend it. So that is LitQ for you. It's a piece of psychometry that links people to careers, essentially. So that is one. The second thing that I want to talk about, which is the last thing I want to talk about, is something that is called LitCoder. Now, I'm sure you've come across a number of platforms, tools, etc. that work on coding, and there are some brilliant platforms there. Whether it is a LeetCode or a HackerEarth or a HackerRank, I think they do some great work in helping students to understand how to work with code effectively. I'm not talking about problem solving with code. I think there is a fundamental issue that we need to appreciate which goes beyond that. And for that, let me share a few thoughts with you on this. Significant trends from last year. Are you aware that ChatGPT last year passed the Google entrance exam for qualified programmers? In fact, it passed the test. What does it mean? It means that today, ChatGPT can write functional code today. In fact, when I was talking to companies who are hiring, they said, tell me, why should I go to the college and hire somebody if his quality of code is not better than ChatGPT? I'm paying $20 to get ChatGPT with the give code. Why would I pay this person so much of money every year, train this person, look at HR issues, all that and struggle with it? I don't need to hire. So the question is, this is really where we are. Second, late last year again, GitHub reported that 46% of the code in the world today is being developed on Copilot. Developed. The code is being developed on Copilot. It's not being developed by programmers, it's being developed by Copilot. Third, there's a company called DeepMind which has a product called AlphaCode. When it was put against 5,000 programmers, it beat 45% of them follow on its debut. So what are we talking about? We are saying that look, there is a sea change happening and we are still discussing programs and courses which are not ready for this kind of phenomenon. Are we training our students right or not? Is the fundamental question that I'm posing at this point in time. Researchers of Microsoft found that people using AI assistants completed work 55% faster. So in my humble submission, the best coders for now and for the near future will be hybrids, which is humans working with AI. There is no question about it, AI is here to stay. There is no doubt. If you have a doubt that humans will actually win the race with AI, I think we have a problem there. So that is in the reality of the situation. So let me quote from a gentleman that you referred to, who said fast, feet forward, which was Marshall Goldsmith. And Marshall Goldsmith also said this, he said the skills that brought you here are not the skills that will get you there. So the skills that you are training for today are not the skills that are relevant for tomorrow. It's a fundamental thing I think we need to understand. Programming skills, solving problems, test cases are good but inadequate. I'm not saying that inessential, they're inadequate. And in my opinion, the ability to work with AI-assisted code is a key success factor. Knowing how to adapt and avoid problems with such code. Let's look at this as an example. I was talking to a bunch of students and they said, look, what exactly is AI-assisted code? I said, so let's say that you have this hackathon going on and you have your friend's paper that came to you, the code that came to you, and you are asked to evaluate it. What do you think you need to do? And they said, okay, I need to check if the code is working, whether it passes test cases or not, can it be integrated? Does it have quality standards? Is it going to upset other code in the industry? Exactly, those are the things that are required for people to be effective today. It is not about how well you can program, it's how well you can work with code given to you. And those skills are completely different from just knowing Java, Python, whatever. I mean, that is important, but I'm saying the skills are changing. Unless you have an understanding of code quality, which is one of the critical things in evaluating code, you are actually not helping your cause. That is really where we are currently. So understanding code quality practices is one of the essentials among other things. Let's keep moving. Okay, another question that I had. We were asking this question about our students and Indian programmers and so on. We were asking the industry, where do you think Indian programmers stand in terms of quality of work that they do? I thought it would be the top 3. This is the list from the industry. Top 5 countries where the best programmers are found are these. So India doesn't feature in this. In fact, India features at number 10. It's quite a shocking revelation, isn't it? That we as a country who pride ourselves on the quality of software that we develop actually have programmers who are being rated at 10th in the world. So the question is, why is that happening? And if you take a look at it, in 2019 there was a simple article in the Economic Times which said that in India 38% of programmers will write compilable code, while in China it is as low as 10%. And compilable code is nothing but the result of code quality, what they are doing. There is also a tremendous business impact of code quality that I want to share. It's not just a technical issue. It impacts business and profitability directly. Can you keep all through the slides? Yeah. The previous slide, please. Yeah. So there is this concept of technical debt, which some of you may be familiar with. Okay, now technical debt is nothing but the amount of time and money required to correct somebody's code. So for example, if I have written a piece of code and the technical debt is, let's say, 1 hour. So my salary into 1 hour is basically the cost of technical debt. The amount of money being spent in the industry on just that kind of work is $85 billion. Now, you may wonder what is $85 billion, but just to put it into context, the total budget spend of India on defense and education is less than $85 billion. And that's the amount of money being spent on being able to solve for technical debt. And technical debt is nothing but saying that, look, you have not written this code properly, I need to correct it. And that is nothing but quality of code. That's the essence of what we are dealing with. Let's keep moving. So the question is, where is the gap? Now, most curriculum, I think, provide excellent foundations in programming languages, data structures, algorithms, keep moving please. Students are familiar with few programming IDEs, take help from platforms like Stack Overflow. However, I think they all work with small projects and not industry-strength software. And consequently, areas like integrating quality, scalability, flexibility are all completely missing. For example, how do you have interfaces happening in functional departments in terms of code or integrated? How do you integrate with legacy code? You are working in a startup, your code is good enough to get the business going now. You get 500 customers, but tomorrow your business goes to 10,000 customers, then your code scale to 10,000 customers are gone. Now those are issues that are completely not understood when it comes to code quality. Let's keep moving quickly. Keep moving slightly. Let's move. So this is the fundamental question that we are trying to ask. Excuse me, just keep moving the slides. Just moving the slides. Yeah, stop it. So just to share with you what we are doing in this area, basically there is a lit code assessment framework that works on 16 parameters of code quality which are accepted as the international norms of code quality. They have worked in 4 buckets. This code maturity, code readability, code manageability, and code flexibility. So for every single, please go to the slide. So for every single submission that a student makes or a programmer makes, they get a report which basically spells out what the score is of each of these definitions. It also gives you the code that they wrote. And if you look at this, for example, as an example, it says this submission had 24 issues with a total debt of 400 minutes. So it tells you what the technical debt of this person's work is. It tells you how many issues in the code there are, and for every issue, it tells you what you need to do to be able to work with it and correct it. So students actually start doing submissions to understand what the technical debt is and how they need to correct for code quality on every single submission that they make. So this is really what we built to help them to understand the concept of code quality. So how does it work? Now very simply, there are a number of practice labs and exercises, there are contests, there are reports and continuous tracking, there are career development centers for campus admin, and for faculty, we also run a faculty orientation program on code quality because we realize that this is not something that is taught in any curriculum in the country today. So the ability of faculty to help students to develop code quality depends on their competence. So we are happy to run that as well. So the way in which it works right now is that we will do that, or students typically sign up through the college for a 5 to 6 week program, which is structured and run by us. So every week there is a submission they have to make, the report that they get, there's a webinar where they discuss what the main issues are, and it keeps moving on code quality parameters. So from the start of the first 6 weeks to the end of the first 8 weeks, they classically see a movement in their code quality parameters. So that's basically what we've been working with. So these are some cases that we are working with, had some discussions ongoing, VIT, Manipur, some Consortium here. We've been talking to Namudavan in Tamil Nadu to be able to move it into the government Anna University program. I think that's scheduled to start in July. So we've been working with a number of these things, but like I said, in early days here, we're not a long-lasting company. We spent 2 years of research and 8 months in the market. So basically where we are. This is our second business year. So I want to thank you for your time. And this is really what we do. Cost-effective breakthrough tools to help careers and placement. So I appreciate your time this afternoon. I hope you found something relevant in this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Please join me in welcoming Sarada Prasanna, Director.
Yeah, sorry, you had a question.
We've been hearing about low code, no code at one end, and at the other end we're talking about prompt engineers. Prompt engineering. Now, for the academic industry, whose bread and butter is tutor students and get them to the stage that they get, how is this really going to help? One, because on one end we're talking about specializations like which is fabulous. The other perspective is not going to go. And then we say something coming forward is from the engineers. Now, should the academy and the students wondering whether they will be inside of that?
Great question, sir. So, we are talking about three concepts here. Okay. So, when it comes to low code, no code, I think it's an approach to coding which essentially tries to speed up processes and probably cut down in terms of number of parameters we're working with. All studies so far show that there are challenges in scalability of low code. So we have a problem. It is good in short bursts, but I'm not sure if it's sustainable coding practices. Not yet, of course. Everything is changing. The second thing is about where do we go with Gen AI, prompt engineering, and all of that. So that's really where prompt engineering comes in. It is the first journey in Gen AI. It's very much like what our Google used to be, sir. And when it first came, I didn't even know what command to put in to get more information. And now you're just learning commands to be able to get it even from correct. Yeah. So, but I'm saying we have a similar journey now with prompt engineering. So, if you look at prompt engineering, I think that's one of the skills that you need in this whole journey of working with AI assistants to be effective. So, to me, that's the journey of the future. I don't see any other way out. So, to answer your question, sir, I think that's a vital piece of the work. Low code, I still think is work in progress. I hope that helps.
For the academy and for faculty students, why is it important to actually code? Why suddenly this is the biggest source? And tech debt is something which we can write.
Two things there. The reason I'm bringing up both these concepts in terms of both psychometry and the code quality, I believe that the essence of what we are looking at in terms of careers and in terms of students being able to find careers that they will truly enjoy and work with is all about relevance. And to me, the relevance of it lies in how far are your skills aligned to what the companies need to have. If you're not relevant there, you have no business being in business. I mean, as simple as that. So to that extent, I'm saying that the need for faculty and for students to know these things is simply keep them relevant in terms of what the industry requires. So to that extent, it is vital, and it's a missing piece at this point in time. So that's what I think. It's about staying relevant, staying ahead of the race, staying on top of your craft. I mean, there's no better choice than to be on top of your craft at any point in time. So it is for the view of the skills that that is the first. The second question, sir, I'm sorry, I think I lost it.
Yes, I have one question. Actually, your observation on West Programmers, we are not the top 5, we are I have a query in approach to that. We always think programming, something that
be welcoming Sarada Prasanna, Director of Global University at Pegasystems, and Kusla Garve, along with our moderator Dr. T. Srinivas Rao, to the dais for a small cheer.
Thank you everyone. Need your kind attention for the next 10 to 15 minutes. May be useful for all the TPOs as well as for the industry people here. The most important discussion about the certification programs. Right, may I know attention please. Thank you. Let me introduce two of our own friends. Mr. Sharda Prasanna Sarpati, Director Technical Enablement and Global University Program from Pega University, and Ma'am Kushala, Program Manager, Asia Pacific, Fortinet. They are in cyber security, all of you know about. Yeah, the most important thing here is, we all know, from our initial days of education to 10th class, our education, if you saw our 10th class certification, we are proud, feel happy. We are showing that as a proof for our date of birth, our 10th class qualification from different posts across the country. Similarly, for BTech degree, even a student with high level of skills, having good presentation skills, whatever it may be, it will valid only when you get a BTech certificate with a valid score. Then only you people, you HR people, pick them for a company. Now, here also, we are having two important certification providers in the globe. One is Pega certification, and second one is Fortinet cyber security certification. In each and every college, all the training and placement officers are behind the students to do certifications from day one onwards, from semester one onwards. Like certifications in Salesforce, certifications in UiPath, robotic process automation, certifications in Fortinet, certifications in Pega, certifications, so except women. And the people explain about the importance of their particular certification from their industry. And also of that, you can ask any questions, or maybe you can suggest any certifications which are useful to the present generation students. Let me start with Sharada. Sharada is heading Pega certification. I think in India across 18 colleges they are running this program. Maybe across the country, Sir will explain, probably they are having 25 or 26 universities where they are running this Pega university program. And what advantage, how it will be, and let me take from Sharada's question. Thank you, Sharada. Thank you for joining this discussion.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you to this particular Consortium and those who are dealing with this. Thanks for inviting us here. It's really a great honor to be here in front of all of you. And thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So I think in order to answer your question, yes, you are talking about certifications. Yes, industry demands a lot of global certifications. And yes, when we started almost 10 years back, in order to create a lot of better resources in the country and in the globe, and then yes, certified resources were required. But now the trend has got changed since last 5-6 years. I'm seeing that we don't need only certifications. We need qualified and certified students. When I say qualified, what do I mean by that? So qualified means the students should undergo the curriculum really well. They have to do all the tasks and all the hands-on to be really prepared for the interviews. And the other point is that they should be also working towards a lot of real-time projects and knowing the agile world and knowing the latest and greatest. Like some of our dignitaries here, They talked about the Gen AI is coming in. Gen AI is right? And though I don't have a laptop now, I can show you that, but Gen AI is already there. People are already working. And you name a domain, you name a space, Gen AI is already available. Right? And the learning space, those here in the learning space, I'm talking about that the learning space is also going to change. Professors, those are available, and I would request all the TPOs to invest on their professors first. Student is next, first is professors. They should be up to date on these kind of technologies. Right? So there should be some investment, has to be there. Because the learning space is going to change. In the term of, you can Google it or you can scan it, you can go to Copilot, you can ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT again, you may not be getting all the information because it is being trained up to certain level. But ChatGPT 4 and the new language model, there are certain changes, please look at that. But talking about Copilot, and another thing you can search on Socratic learning. Right? The time is coming up where we don't need a professor. Right? In the industry, we don't need a solution consultant who will be consulting a particular kind of customer to start with. But yes, those ideas, their experience is required. Right? So that way, when you're talking about learning, Socratic learning is the AI part, will be start talking to the student or the professor. Right? So that part you have to be worried about, that yes, how our professors will be doing this and get adapted to that. Students getting into different areas, that how Gen AI is going to help them to do the productivity really faster. Right? In our platform, the Gen AI is already implemented. So that's why I say that each and every student going to get into certain certification, they should not be only certified. They should be qualified, then certified. So that when the industry comes and interview them, they look at their qualifications, whether they are really qualified to make our work. That should be answered first. Then yes, in the proof, I have a certification. Right? So I should concentrate on that and stick to that.
Thank you, Prasanna. As a proof, every industry needs a certification. Right? That's why, when you are discussing about any students, do more certifications so that it enhances your profile. Weightage for the resume, always discussing about do the certifications globally. So underline this word, always certification is a global certification. Okay, not like local institutions or local body certifications will not valid, but it always like a global certification. Now, Kushana ma'am, I think you are very familiar in cyber security and you are one of the largest certified technology from Fortinet. So how it will be useful for students? What are your solutions?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank this forum and all the TPOs in this forum. You guys are doing a splendid job. I can't imagine 100+ institutions, TPOs being part of this forum and a couple of HRs being present. So it's a real splendid experience for me. Thank you for making me part of this. So the question you have asked, I work with Fortinet and I manage the Asia Pacific region for Fortinet Academy, wherein we work with engineering colleges, universities in offering training and certifications. So why is certification important? The reason is the global certification is a benchmark for students, analyzing the students' skill and knowledge on certain topic. So Fortinet is a 25 years old organization in which we have layers of certification right from fundamentals to expert level. And these global certifications are diversified into multiple domains, whether it is network security, whether it is cloud security, whether it is universal security fabric or data analytics. So all these actually are part of a computer science engineering domain, right? So when we talk about certification, the entire program, what we offer to the students, we need to create an importance of these certifications, and then comes the role of a TPO, where naturally students wouldn't know the importance of these certifications in the market. But the market trends speak. Fortinet has trained until now about 15 lakhs people on NSE certifications, And exclusively on cybersecurity, we are aiming to get 10 lakh people getting certified by 2025. And we have already reached halfway. That means the next decade, at least next 10 years, we are going to talk about cybersecurity certification, the importance of generative AI and AI in cybersecurity. So these all things actually go hand in hand. And Fortinet, being the world's largest cybersecurity organization, has got immense product portfolio which uses this generative AI, be it on the analyzing side or be it on the authentication side. So there are close to around 15 plus certifications which a student can actually make use of it. And the importance of this is, I would come back to the point of skill gap, because globally the trend looks like by 2030 we are going to have 3 million jobs available exclusively on cybersecurity. But the existing trend shows that we will be able to produce only 1 million candidates on cybersecurity. That means there is a hell lot of shortfall, or road blockers probably, where we are not able to produce a cybersecurity specialist and we are not able to gain that opportunity from the market. So it is always again demand versus supply. We have a demand but we are not able to supply. So how do we just scale up that level is by providing certifications, making students aware of the importance of these global certifications, and then get them to the next level where skill, knowledge and their degree, all three should go hand in hand. So you TPOs and your faculties actually have to work extensively in getting to that level, because probably 5 years back, we had never assumed or imagined today that we would be discussing in a forum like this, but we were able to get this industry-academia relation to this level. So the next leap is that we need to get the certifications to the brains and incubate that in the minds of students and show them the importance, because they are just like, their minds are plain white papers. Whatever you write, it is going to stick with them for next couple of years. And believe me, students who actually take up cybersecurity as their career may not be there good at coding or any other development kind of roles, but they are going to thank you for life for taking this, guiding them in this direction.
Thank you.
Sorry, I would like to just emphasize more on this a little bit. So, Fortinet Academy program works with universities and colleges, and this is the certification tracks that we have. Entire program is for free for colleges. Anyone who is interested to know more about it, myself and my team, Santosh and Giri in the crowd, we three are available here, and you can just give us questions.
Thank you, Kushara. And it's good news that by 2020, by 2030, good number of jobs available in cybersecurity. Thanks to Corona in 2020, which made, before this Corona, we were there almost 15 to 20th position in using this equipment. After Corona, now today, as per the statistics, we were number one in the globe, where highest number of users using digital equipment. Automatically, security threats happen. Thanks to Fortinet and the cybersecurity people getting more number of certification, more number of jobs is a good news to all the TPO friends. Right. Thanks, Kushla, for that. Good news of good number of jobs. Recently, my president and myself and entire team visited TCS on a platform of TCS Hackfest, on the cybersecurity contest. When we discussed with the Razana, the head of TCS, then he said, this year we recruited 2,000 students in particular to this contest, and good news to all the TPO friends for the next coming 2 to 3 years. TCS itself is increasing its numbers to 5 times to 10 times. Means this is 2,000 this year, and the next time it will be almost 10,000, next 2 years it will be 30 to 40,000, and it's like a big recruitment. They are recruiting people through the TCS Hackfest. So try to register all the students for the next Hackfest event and try to get more number of offers. Thank you. And next to my question to Sharada, I think Virtues of Venkata sir, named as Bobby, just before we are entering into this particular session, he posed a question to the speaker that what about low code and no code platforms. Pega is also a low code and no code platform. I think including myself, other faculty, friends and TPOs are anxiety knowing about what is this low code and no code. There is a rumor in the industry that if there is low code means there is no code. No need to practice any coding. Without coding, how can you seek in the certifications? So I want to know the answer from you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So let me throw some light on that. Yes, we're talking about low code and no code, they call it LC and NC. But yes, when you're talking about platform, and low code, yes, from day one, starting from 40 years back, we thought about it that we should write less amount of code, and the code should be written in a different way. So that is the vision of our CEO, Alan. But now, yes, it is reality. And in this, when you get into this, any kind of business scenario or any kind of business life cycle you want to develop, you can directly go there. Any business guy or any non-technical guy, they can directly get into it, and then they can provide the total business scenario. Like in terms of what certain, like it's a life cycle that we have certain milestones. Each milestones can have certain tasks of its own, and you can continue that. So when you design it, right, it's a model-driven architecture. You just design the milestone, and you design all your tasks. The background, the platform writes all the code for you. But now it is Java code, and then tomorrow, when the technology changes, you might be thinking that if the technology is changing, then what should I do? We need not worry about it, because Pega every time talks about the background technology, and we keep on changing with the latest and greatest. For example, now what happens now, they say that we have got AI coming in. We have got our AI already embedded in the platform with predictive and adaptive analytics. So that part is already there, through which we are able to predict the next best action for all our customers and our anybody who is using it. Then the next phase is, after that, now generative AI comes up. It is too simple again. What they do there, now let's say you want to, at this particular event, you have already done doing it, you might have taken so much of time, right, to plan, and then step by step, all the vendors you have to call, all the dignitaries you have to call, right? Simply a simple thing you would have done that, let's say we have got a platform in that, you have to go and ask online. Right? Like the prompt engineering, all the other guys were talking about, so in that you have to just go to a platform, in that we call it as blueprint, in that you have to just write that yes, I want to plan an event like this, CareerNexus, and this is the objective of this particular event. Then all the process and everything steps, everything will be created and given to you by the generative AI, which is working behind. And what is working behind? That's a large language model which is working behind. That we have trained, we are using it. And you can also train and you can use it for your purpose also. Right? So that way, the low code using generative AI is becoming pure code, no code at all. Right? So that way, the things are going to change, and things are already changing. So everybody has to adapt to that part. So this much I would say. Thank you.
It's a nice discrimination about low code and no code. We're completely aware of this, and thanks Shada for clarifying our note about low code and no code. And actually, Shada is saying to me, to our students, almost 10 years back, we want to open a bank account. Almost all, we went to bank, submitting all the forms, photographs and everything. Then automatically, it will take 4 to 5 days to get your passbook at that point after 10 to 15 years back. At that time, there is a bank, ICICI, 10 years back only. They come to our home with their equipment. So within 1 hour, they can get all the snapshots and all the proofs, and they will directly hand over ATM card and also passbook to you. That happened because of Pega. Okay, give them a round of applause to the Pega automation. Happened from almost 15-20 years back. Now with the AI and Gen AI, now they are moving ahead in the industry. Right, ma'am. Because of the cyber securities, ma'am, my question to you. So much of threats and everything happening. Number of jobs are available. Now what with this quarterly certification, however the job market, what may be salary package through Fortinet in cyber security area?
Okay, so first and foremost, Fortinet is about $7.5 billion organization with presence across 90 plus countries. And we have a customer base of around 750,000, which includes large, medium enterprise and small enterprises. And we call it as an engaged platform where we have partners about 5,000 only in India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh regions. So that way we are very widely spread. That's our network of Fortinet. And then these partners who help us establish our Fortinet product line, they need resources in terms of various domains, whether it is technical support, pre-sales, techno-commercial kind of roles, who will actually work on the production environment, who go and implement the network. So any person who is completing the certifications can get a job opportunity in our partner network, as well as Fortinet also does this hiring. Like the way how you mentioned we have TCS HackWedge, Fortinet uses Hackathon or HackerRank, two options. And we do this test through HackerRank and then the selection criteria goes. So during the 6 months internship, Fortinet pays a stipend and then they onboard. There is a commitment of 1 year, 2 year, whatever like this. And then once they are onboarded, Fortinet pays around 15 lakhs as a starting package. The roles are like tax support engineer or data analyst, security analyst. And the bare minimum requirement is, if you can you please put the slide number 22? One slide prior. So the basic requirement is one slide before. Any certification from these different tracks, it can be either cloud security or network security or security operations kind of certifications. And the roles will be security analyst, threat intelligence, support kind of roles. So in any MNC, whether it is Fortinet or equivalent organization, the packages are at that level. In partners, the starting packages would be around 6 lakhs. So definitely there is a good market around it, and there is no stoppage. Like it can be a sales plus technical kind of role, pre-sales kind of role. If anyone is interested in taking up management kind of role, like they want to do both, right? Or if they want to be limited to only implementation or want to go as a service engineer, so they can start with that. And across India, we have this kind of partner network, so the jobs would be actually very seamless as I estimate.
It's nice, the packages are ranging from 50 lakhs to 50 lakhs, but with cyber security, with the certifications of Fortinet, in Fortinet under associated companies of Fortinet. So please note all the TPOs, there is a hackathon by Fortinet, and certainly from our consortium, we publish whenever there is recent hackwares or whenever Fortinet hackathon, we publish in all the groups. So right utilize, make your students to participate in that platform. That is job, right? Sir, Sharda sir, how your mega certification benefits to students? What are the benefits that are given to colleges? How colleges can approach you?
Great, Derek. So I think first thing, we are not working with every different one because we have got certain criteria to onboard certain number of colleges. Like we have got almost 21 colleges in India and almost 15-16 colleges across the globe, and we are growing that across the globe as well, along with India as well. So in this, we have got certain criteria and to add the colleges. We also got some criteria to enroll the number of students. And for that, any information required, a very short email ID, that is uap@peria.com. And once you write that uap@peria.com, send any email to us, we can help you there directly. That is one. And for the certification, yes, we do multiple number of certification. One is the basic level, junior developer, that we call it as system architect. And the next level is senior system architect. And those of you who are from business schools, for them we can go ahead with business architect course and certification as well. And beyond that, if somebody wants to do on predictive and adaptive analytics and data science kind of thing, we have got something on decisioning architect and data science certification. Plus, anybody wants to be specialized on robotics, they can also approach robotics certification. And there is one more at the top level. Once you start working for a certain number of years with our customers and partners, then yes, you can approach the top one, that is called lead system architect. So these are the certifications available. Any information about that, again a short email ID, certification@mega.com. So there are two email ID if you remember. You can get all the information about UAP, that is UAP@mega.com, certification, that is certification@mega.com. Any training required, that is education@mega.com. These are three things please remember.
Thank you, Sharada. The same question to you also, ma'am. What are the benefits that are offering to colleges and how colleges approach it?
Okay, so I am the point of contact for Asia Pacific region. I can just post my email ID after the session, and they can directly reach out to me for the MOU signatures. So once the college is onboarded, there is a simple agreement between the college and Fortinet. Once we sign the agreement, we start off by offering the entire content, the course access. We provide VMs to establish your own labs in your campus. If you are interested, you can also access to our hosted labs. So students can access the entire material, faculties can have entire access to the courses, and then we provide marketing material to colleges to do all the branding in your campus, so that you can talk more about what is Fortinet, how we are present, everything, because that has to be incubated in their minds, right? So, and then the next is we provide lab access, which is important. After each chapter, let's say for example you have computer networks in CSC, where you learn initial basics of networking, topologies, TCP/IP protocols. So they learn the practicalities of it after each topic. How do they write a policy, firewall policy? How do they establish a VPN connectivity? So there are assigned lab exercises for which we provide access to our labs. If anyone is not interested to access our labs, the college can deploy their own labs, for which we support by giving our VMs. So if you have good server infrastructure and VMware hypervisors, you can use our licenses and set up your own lab. So that way you can integrate these courses also into your curriculum, and then accordingly, like probably semester wise, you can bifurcate the certifications, like starting from 2 or 3-1. You can start with the fundamentals course, and by 4-1 you can catch hold of at least 3-4 certifications. So their resume will have a good weightage.
Thank you, Kushal. And now if we integrate this entire certifications in each semester, that is very useful. And happy news from Fortinet is all these certifications are completely for free of cost. The TPOs can contact the team, and around up to evening 4 to 5 o'clock. You can contact them and get complete information from them. Right. Thank you for the team for giving this opportunity, Sharda and Kushala. And within 15 minutes, we try to get more number of information from these two experts. I'm very happy to be part of this particular program. Thank you, Sharda, and thank you, Kushala.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for the insightful discussion. Let me now introduce Arya Patnaik, Associate Director at Talent. With over a decade of expertise in career management and strategic recruitment, Arya is an adept in fostering key partnerships and delivering deployable talent solutions. Holding a postgraduate diploma in marketing from ITM Group of Institutions and a PhD in Human Resources Management from Annamalai University, she brings a wealth of knowledge to the table. Arya's sessions promises to be insightful, leveraging her experience and educational background to enrich our discussion. Please join me in welcoming Arya Patnaik to the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for that sweet introduction. I was just recollecting. Great. So since morning, we have heard a lot of TPOs, we have heard a lot of corporates. So seemingly, there is certainly a skill gap amongst our students, right? So given my experiences across industries and domains, this skill gap is certainly also alarming. This is where I see Talent Sprint, NSC Talent Sprint, positioning itself in upskilling the early and emerging talent in terms of the requirements that corporate have to have deployable and value-added talent. Talent Sprint is a deep expertise for disrupting work. We are a global leader in deep tech education. We are a global edtech company with presence in the US and India and offer transformational deep tech management and leadership programs in partnership with top academic institutions in India and US for emerging and experienced professionals. If I could just walk you through the journey here, the company was founded in 2009 and we had our coding boot camps launched there. 2011-12, we had our NSTC partnership and a series of funding from Nexus Venture Partners. 2017, we had our partnership with Pega and IIIT Hyderabad. We also launched our certificate programs. 2019-20, we had our partnership with some of the elite institutions of the country. IIMC, IIT Hyderabad, Google, IIT Kanpur, IISc Bangalore. We were also acquired in the same year by National Stock Exchange. In 2021-23, we set up our US entity from the Bay Area, and we had our partnership with most global enviable institutions like the Carnegie Mellon University, University of Michigan, and many more in the management space like IIM Udaipur, IIM Lucknow. And currently we have 20 partners, 60 programs, and 250 employees. Some of our major programs revolve around our MBA boot camps, AI and data science, VLSI design, network and security, robotic process and automation, space technology, sensor technology, and multiple courses in the space of management. These are our partners, the top academic institutions and global corporations that we are very proud of our association. We are with the Carnegie Mellon University, we are with the University of Michigan, we are with IISc Bangalore, we are with the top IITs, IIT Kanpur, IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, IIIT Hyderabad, IIT Hyderabad and IIT Bangalore. Our top management institution associations are IIT Calcutta, Lucknow, Udaipur, IIFG and NIB. Our blue chip company associations are Pega, Google, Deloitte, Accenture and NPCI. most of our bootcamp programs are for emerging professionals and very niche in nature, catering to the corporate requirements and demands. I'll take up a very few case studies on that note, starting with our full stack developer program, which is very old talent student program. We have been there in this space for the last 10 years, have created more than 15,000 trained professionals, provide 300% of more CTC in terms of the highest compensation, and 30% more of CTC in terms of the average compensation. We are partnered with more than 700 plus recruitment partners, and moving on to our second bootcamp program, which is our Pega University program, one of our very enviable programs here. I'm sure you just listened out, Sharda. We are one of the very enviable partners for Pega University program, and we have college professionals who get their first dream job with Pega and its partners and customers. The bootcamp program has been offered since 2010. We are in our 9th year of association, and more than 10,000 professionals have been certified, 20 plus college partners and 30 plus recruitment partners. We are one of the spearhead training partners for Pega in terms of the Pega customers and partners. Moving on to our Google, our very exclusive social impact program, which I am personally very invested in, is our Women Engineer program with Google, which is a very diversity-oriented program, given that at a corporate level, at a institution level, all of us are focusing on a lot of DEI initiatives. The government has also pushed efforts in terms of a DEI initiative. Corporations want their top talents to be diverse. We, as a program, is championing the cause. We, this year, has attracted more than 130,000 applications. Our current students are 1150, 100 plus tier 2 campuses. That is campuses which do not have the brand name of IIT or IIM, so we have those kind of campuses. 25% of our students belong to very remote parts of the country. 34% of our students belong to low-income groups in this program, and 29% are first-time graduates. We are present all India in 25 states of the country, and we have a very concomitant program in US called TechWise, which is also something that is flagged up by Google. Moving on to IIT Hyderabad's program that also is for emerging professionals. We have associated with IIT Hyderabad for the artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. This is mostly for emerging professionals in their career of 0 to 3 years. We have 350 learners across the country visiting for a package of visiting for a package of 11 lakh average and 35 lakhs is the maximum CTC for these programs, which has very high outcomes in terms of placement. Now, I think most of us were deliberating a lot at the TPO level that we certainly are open to introduce credits with industry partnerships. So, other than what you have all heard here, some of our students are also very interested in research going forward, right? So if they want to have a taste of this research, we have launched our program, which is a very pocket-friendly program for the student to experience the faculty of IISc. This is our IISc Science Certification Program, which is delivered over a period of 2 months from the faculty of IISc, and it also offers 2 academic credits. This is something that you can, as TPOs, kind of get along with us and expose your students to the rush and feel of IISc. reality. And that program is mostly around biotechnology. Now this is another wing of ours where we actually move into a higher trained deployee model. We have been associated with NPCI for onboarding 500 of their graduate trainees to be onboarded with them, and we have partnered with IIT Hyderabad to provide these candidates a PG program also. We are in the second phase, and these are pretty successful candidates in terms of their outcomes and deployability at the corporate level. So I believe we are also open for that partnership, and I've heard a lot of corporates are also open to have that kind of intervention. So I think overall, talent sprint is a proposition, is an evolving proposition where we address the needs of the TPO on campus. We also address the needs of corporates, and I believe and I am open to partner here along with my team in transforming your organization into with an adept workforce. I am more also open if somebody can want to explore the possibilities of this evolutionary trend with talent sprint. Here till the end of the day, let's collaborate. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, let me introduce Mr. Joy B. Hans, Director of Corporate Training at Visual Path EdTech, and a certified life coach with over 13 years of experience in training. Sir leads a team of delivering tailored learning solutions to diverse clients. His expertise spans leadership, communication skills, soft skills, and personality development. Notably, Sir has worked with 150 plus colleges, 100 plus corporate organizations, and trained over 25,000 individuals. He is also a distinguished member of Toastmasters International, having served as district director and received accolades for his public speaking. Sir holds a master degree in English and brings a wealth of knowledge to the same. Please join me in welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll just stand in for a minute to get a good picture of these guys, and then I'll go to the stage. So, good afternoon, everybody, once again. So, before we begin, I would just like you to look around the amazing people you have. There are close to 10 tables which are almost occupied or half occupied right now. If we add the total experience on those tables, each table will have approximately an experience of 100 years. Work experience, not years. My table alone had 150 years of experience, what I was saying. So imagine, if we add those 10 tables with 100 years of experience, that's 1,000 years of experience sitting right in this room right now. Imagine if all of us can come together, what can we do? But many of us don't think like this. Why did I say this? First of all, I would like to appreciate all the other sponsors, SmartBridge, NSC Talent Sprint, Core, Pyramid. If you guys are there, the rest of you, let's give them a round of applause to all the sponsors. Thank you. We are also one of the sponsors, that's why I have the mic in my hand. I just want to thank each and every one of you. We believe in collaboration, not competition. And even before I give my presentation, I just want to extend an open, warm welcome to all the sponsors over here. You are problem solver and so are we. And I believe that the pie is large enough. There are 2,000 colleges in South India. And I'm sure none of us will work with all the 2,000. Even if each one of us 50, 60, that's more than enough to run our businesses. And all the sponsors over here are problem solvers. What are they trying to solve? Problems which you have, problems which your students have. So let's work together and collaborate. So I would request all the TPOs and the college people over here, when you move to the lunch today, just find out any of those team members who are your sponsors, just take their business card, listen to them for 10 minutes, that's it. If you feel they can help you, please take their help. If you feel they can't give you the best solution, say no worries, we already have a solution, which includes us also. So thank you everybody. Now let's get into the deck. First I would like the AV. And then, first I would like you to watch the AV and then we'll begin. The area is not new, but it's a technical village. The extinction. Welcome to Visual Park EdTech. Innovation is not just a concept, it's a way of transforming education to empower and impact young minds to help them shape their future. Our vision is to train rural students from across India to be industry ready both in technical and non-technical skills. Our mission is to reach graduates digitally with the emerging technical trainings, certifications, and placement assistance. At Visual Path EdTech, we believe that education should be a dynamic and transformative learning experience. So we have created digital content which is easily accessible and applicable for the current industry needs. Our dedicated team of professional trainers and content developers have put together courses for engineering academic subjects, latest technical courses, campus recruitment training, GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS training. Our courses are designed to be simple, systematic, and self-absorbed. Imagine a world where classroom comes to life, where students can explore the depths of any concept sitting at their place at their own pace. Visual Path EdTech goes beyond textbooks and lectures. Our hands-on approach encourages students to apply their knowledge in real-world scenarios, preparing them for challenges of tomorrow. The world has gone digital. Why not learning? Why not you? Visual Path EdTech is here to help you embark on your success journey. Let's build a world where learning has no limits. Visual Path EdTech, your path forward. Okay, thank you. So I would like Alicia to please pull up your phone. At 4 minutes, show me your hand once, 5 minutes, show me once, and 7 minutes, show me once again. I'll get off the stage. I'm a Toastmaster, 7 minutes means 7 minutes, no extra. Okay, so let's quickly have that deck up. Yeah, that will look first me. So we personally believe as an organization that every student is a star, just waiting to shine. Who makes the student shine is irrespective. It's me or someone else, we don't care. The end goal, please understand, all of us sitting in this room are sitting for one purpose, that our students should get jobs. Who gives them job is irrespective. Once we think like this, coexisting with everybody else becomes easy. It's synergy. And we as an organization believe in this. So let's focus majorly on the students. Rest of the things will fall into place automatically. As an organization, yeah, my team is telling me mic up. We just want, everybody says Digital India, we just want to give digital education to students. That's it. We have a simple mission to reach to our students every nook and corner. It doesn't matter from where the students are. Do you know that a lot of students do not have the privileges which city students have? And nobody bothers about them. Someone have a low pocket size, someone does not even know what to do. We want to reach to each and every one of them and help them. That's the vision that we have. The simple vision, just move on quickly. We just want to educate them, empower them, and make sure that we enhance their skills. That's it. So we are a startup as an EdTech platform, but we are not a new organization. We are existing in the market for the last 16 years as Visual Path IT. But in 2019 during COVID, we decided as an organization that let's come together. The world has moved towards digital education. Why why not us? And that's how this AV was born as Visual Park EdTech. Officially, we were launched on Jan 5th this year in T-Hub by the IT Minister. We are very new, but thanks to all the amazing colleges, we are already present in close to 20 colleges. And thank you to each and every one of you who invited us with open arms. Let's move on. Why did we start this? If you look at the problem statement that we are trying to solve, it's very simple. A lot of students are unequipped, we all know that. So we want to address this problem. Second, the industry demands are changing. Industry is changing like crazy. Not like in my generation. It's completely different now. And a lot of students don't know what to do. And that's where we step in. And the third one is, a lot of technological changes and advancements are happening. A lot of us are trying to address it. That's why I was appreciating all the other platforms also, because you are also doing the same work that we are doing. We are in the same space. So we found out that there's a huge need over here, and that's how we thought, let's do it. Let's move on. When we did the market study, we have been trying this since 2019. We found out that a lot of students prefer to learn digitally. Unlike many of us senior citizens, I'm 45, I don't enjoy studying digitally. I love to read through books, but the younger generation wants to study digital. And that's the reason we digitize the entire academic courses about which I'll talk to you. And secondly, digital education is also globally accepted today, unlike 5 years before. So you can do a digital certification from anywhere. So why not our BTech students? Can't they? And that's how we got into it. And next is, because the market is changing so fast, and we need to provide them dynamic solutions. Every 6 months something new comes up. With a digital problem, digital app, we can solve this. And that's the reason we thought of an amazing EdTech platform, and that's Visual Park EdTech, to solve this particular problem. Let's quickly move on. Okay, the rest of the things are busy. Just click it once more. Okay, that's up on the screen. Thank you. Yeah, just click all of them. There are 5 points. It's good when you make your own text and not someone else. So you know what's on the deck. So what we did is, first of all, we don't have to depend on anybody. Since we are an IT company, we have developed our own LMS portal. It's super dynamic and it provides an end-to-end solution. A student doesn't need to go anywhere. Once you start working with us, we provide almost everything, and I'll explain each and every one of them to you. We also have a very specialized placement in the university relations team, led by the gentleman that Anil Kapoor sir, standing right in the middle. His name is Dr. Lakshman. I call him Anil Kapoor. This is very dynamic. So he's the gentleman who leads this entire thing separately. We have Mr. Jaydev sitting on the front screen. He is the gentleman who takes care of all the campus recruitment trainings. Thank you, sir. We have our 2 teammates over there, Alisha and Trived. So these are the team members you can connect to later. That's the reason. Thank you for all of you. Without you guys, we will not exist today. And we are also not just teaching technology. Our app or our EdTech platform is also designed with cutting-edge technology. We use the same technology. Let's quickly move on. You didn't show me the hand. 4 minutes not done? Okay, thank you. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to provide a 360-degree solution. Number 1, we are there for the students. Number 2, we are there for the colleges. And number 3, we also are there for the industry. And when we want to make sure that there is a simple bridging gap in between all the 3 together. And how I'll explain that to you. Let's move on quickly. So this is our platform. It's upgraded once again within the last 2-3 days. Since if you go to the platform, you will not find exactly the same things, but relevant almost the same. So you can see 3 segments over here: the employability skills, the technical courses, and the academic subjects. So what do we do exactly? Let's see this in the next 2 minutes. Next slide, please. So the first thing that we do is employability skills. What's the first thing any company is doing these days? Do aptitude, right? Before they reach to coding and anything else, they need to clear the aptitude test. So we put everything over there, and this whole curriculum has been designed by Dr. Jaydev, who has 24 years of experience in teaching aptitude. Next thing they need is how to clear an interview. It's also there in the portal. If you go to the next slide, you can see that. Yeah, that good fellow is me again. So you see, we have not just given them basic interview skills. We have given them enough life skills, which also includes a psychometric evaluation known as DISC analysis. Once a student does that, They will be able to understand what's their communication style, what's their leadership style. We have not just given them basic interview skills, we have included how to stay in the company, how to make a brand out of yourself, how to promote yourself on LinkedIn, how to stay relevant in the industry, what is the industry expecting. Nobody addresses these questions. And that's the reason our CRT portal has 400 hours of content answering all these questions. A student just needs to watch those videos and majority of his doubts and questions are solved for him. Let's move on. Now we move to the second segment, that's the technical courses. So we have more than 90 technical courses which are relevant in the market, and a student can sit in his home just with one PC or a mobile and start learning anything. We are especially targeting rural students because they do not have a lot of opportunity to go to mainstream areas like Hyderabad or Switzerland's of engineer, Amirpet. Every engineer goes there for honeymoon after engineering when they don't get a job. So we don't want students to end up in Amirpet and all other places. So we thought let's technically equip them. And most of these, with this training, they also end up getting certifications. Let's move on. Other than this, no, one slide back. We have also, according to R22, we have recorded every academic subject. We have already completed in first year, second year and third year, which is on our portal. So your students, if they have a backlog, can go to our website, click on their respective subject, learn and clear their backlogs also. So what does a student need? Number one, clear their backlogs, we take care of them. Your student needs to be well equipped in technology, we take care of them. Your students need to be well equipped how to clear an interview, how to get into the job market, we equip them with that completely. So your student need not go anywhere, everything is there is at one platform. But will all of you want to take our product? No, you don't need it, so we are fine with that. And that's the reason I'm inviting all the other sponsors. Please meet me and my team afterwards. If I or my team visits a college and the college does not find our product useful for them, and if they share anything about this is what we want and it matches with your product, we will immediately introduce you to the college. Because our BD team is almost visiting 5 colleges every day live. So this is an open invite to all of you educators at the back. No competition. We are one family. Let's work together and get this. Let's move on. Now, one of the biggest challenges which students have is building their own resumes. Many colleges have already incorporated it. We already have 5 sets of resume on our website. A student just needs to upload these details. Go to the next one and you will immediately find the software printing a resume for you in 5 different versions as of now. The boys who are doubtful, why is that number hidden intentionally? Let's move on. So a student can get 5 versions of resume. We are trying to take it up to 15 so that your students can have a variety. When the corporate people visit colleges, you would have noticed out of 100 students, 60 of them have the same resume. We don't want that to happen. So every student will build their own resume with their own label. That's the idea. In addition to this, our website has 29 different codes in which they can compile, languages in which they can compile. The compiler is already present. So whatever technology a student is learning through our courses, they can go to the compiler and compile everything as well. So no need to run around anywhere. We are a one-stop shop for anybody who wants to empower their students. So this is an open invite to all the corporate. This is where the corporate comes in. If any of the corporate gentlemen or ladies who are sitting over here, you feel that you want to go to a college or you want exactly students to have this one technology, just let us know. We will speak to the colleges, we will make sure we get an educator, go to the college, empower them with that so that we just need to walk in and get students with that technology. See, as simple as that. And this is where the industry connects come in. So we are very open to work with any one of you. I am myself a corporate trainer with 24 years of experience. So I know how corporate works. My wife is herself a Senior Vice President HR in HSBC Bank with 18 years of experience. So I understand how this segment works. So open invite to all the corporate people sitting over here. Thank you for first of all gracing us with your presence. And if you find that you are not able to find students in this particular technology, just connect with us. We will connect to all the possible colleges and make sure that you have those profiles. The resume builder that we have, 7 minutes up? Okay, 30 seconds and I'm done. The resume builder that you saw over there has a feature wherein when the students upload everything, their skills, their certifications, we will be easily able to monitor which student has what. if we are going through the college has a permission power to whether unlock those resumes for companies or not. If the college says we want to unlock our resumes to the world, we will do it. If we say no, we want to control everything, we are good with that also. In addition to this, we can white label the entire product. There are 2 colleges which have already approached us. We don't want to go on your name, usual path, but we want this on our name. Please be our guest, we will do that for you too. You are a college, you want to promote yourself, we are good with that. See, everything is secondary for us. The first thing as an organization that we want to do is, we want to make sure that no student is left under just because we want to earn 2 rupees extra or you want to earn 3 rupees extra. That's not the intention. We just want every student to be placeable and job ready. Thank you. That was my time.
Thank you, sir. Now, let me introduce Mr. S. Rajkumar, Vice President of Human Resources at Infolog Global. He brings over 23 years of rich experience in HR management. His career reflects a deep commitment to enhancing workplace environments and driving organizational success through talent acquisition, management, and policy development. With a focus on integrity, empathy, and humility, Sir has established himself as an influential leader, holding an MSW in Industrial Relations and Labor Law from Andhra University and pursuing a PhD in Human Resources Management. Let's welcome Mr. S. Rajkumar to the stage.
Greetings to all of you this afternoon. Actually, my time has been set at 1 o'clock. It's been postponed or rescheduled. It's always time for lunch, but I'll quickly wrap it as much as possible. Firstly, thank you so much for this CareerNexus committee for inviting me here this day to share my experiences with you. To start with, this particular title of TPOs, right? Training Placement Options. I've been in this for 24 years, ever since I started my career in 2001 with Deloitte Consortium. This industry, the TPO as we call it, have been a vital role in my career the last 24 years. So I was thinking when the company invited me for this session, I was thinking, why should we even call them as TPOs? Why don't we call them a different, any convention, right? You're not a placement option per se. You do much more than what you guys do, right? For example, you play a vital role in terms of the industry, equipping the students to match our business need. So I thought, why don't we call you guys as Industry Academy Solution Partners? Why don't we call you guys Industry Academic Solution Partners? I want to start a small joke with you. There's this guy today, this boy who finishes his exams and he's failed his exam, and he walks up to his father and tells his Papa, my exam fail ho gaya. Papa gets annoyed like any other father and he starts yelling at the boy, his son. And then during this conversation he says, बाजू वाला लड़की को देख वो पास हो गया. बच्चा बोलते पापा उसको देखे भाई एग्जाम फेल हो गया. Look, we are in the industry where, in the current generation, where there's a lot of peer pressure, especially when the child post-completion of the 12th gets into colleges, right? Today, I know most of you have been talking about industry trends, XYZ, right? A lot of things yesterday, today, we have heard how the industry is actually evolving and things like that, right? But we should more look backwards. When you induct the students into your colleges, what are the 3 things you actually equipping the students with? If you look at the other side of the story, this is a beautiful woman in her mid-20s. Woman, sorry, not to offend you, right? Mid-20s, decides to marry an old man, a 60 years old man. And there's a silent admirer of this woman, right? So he was so inquisitive, saying, why is this lady, such a beautiful lady, gorgeous, all of that, marrying an old man? So that day on the wedding, he walks up to the lady and asks her, how many of you know Hindi? All of you know Hindi, right? So this guy walks up to the lady and asks her, "Aap itna beauty hai, sorry, my Hindi is bad, itna khoobsurat hai, all of that. May I know why you marry such an old man?" These are two factors. मैं दो चीज देख के उसको शादी कर रहा हूँ. एक उसका इनकम, दूसरा इसका इनकम, right? Of course, we don't have enough. My point here is, when you talk to this generation, this digital generation students, how do you want to transform them when they enter the college? While the TPOs are running around to gather information from the industry, how is the D-Tech happening in the corporate world? But you actually we do it deaf with the students. To reward the entire learning of the students. I was doing a session last night in one of the colleges in Hyderabad. So the panel speaker, he said, students, you have to get off your digital Instagrams and Facebooks and all of that. Then I defer his statement. This is the digital age. You cannot avoid the kids to take off the mobiles from them. But my perspective is, I have two kids, grown-up kids, right? My perspective is three types. One, the digital platforms gives three takeaways for all of us. One, entertainment. Two, education. Three, earnings. 3 E's. How do I channelize these students? Like today, if you look at it, there's a gamification methodology companies are using to train students, right? Put them into a very structured method of evaluating and assessing students to hire, right? So what we did was, in my company, I currently sell, I do a movie time on every Friday. I call it Friday learning. We spend 1 hour in the organization for employees. We do a movie time. Changing certain perspectives to the current learning curriculum. Instead of doing a routine, so what I call my learning team is, I don't call them a training team or training function. I call them acceleration academy. What we do is we don't train students. This is my perspective. We don't train students. The train students are already trained. Today, if you look at this, there's a demand for AI in the marketplace, right? Everyone is talking about AI. You have already ensured the AI is incorporated into your curriculum for the students. So they already know the basics. But what we do in the industry is we accelerate the students. For your students to get to a situation where they can accelerate the speed of their learning, the learning curve has to be extremely good. Number two, the adaptability to the system itself is one of the major factors. Today, we are not, most of the time, I'm sure, doing a lot of psychometric assessments to evaluate students to hire to the organizations, right? Right? So there's the learning curve, the adaptability, and the language which are primarily important for today's your technology skills. Because kids already know what this technology is all about. And because of the AI and OpenAI, ChatGPT and all of those tools, it makes their life easier for the students to quickly learn the technology per se. Right? The biggest, I know a lot of TPOs change the corporate HRs. We are privileged because we are the corporates of the business. So we have this TPOs chasing, making calls to us, trying to get our attention. So that we come to the colleges and hire students in XYZ. There's a complete change. People keep chasing us to to get our time or to meet us and things like that. Right? But what is the crux? Crux of the whole recruiting procedure in the industry has evolved post-pandemic. Today, even a college in Timbuktu or some goddamn place in the country gets an opportunity because of the online platform you have. So instead of chasing the corporates for the opportunities, right? We invest more time on the how we can actually enhance the skills of the students is a big question. Changing the way the whole evolution of the entire learning system itself in the college has to change. I will tell you, most of the TPOs come from I know a lot of people have PhDs, well-read, well-educated, have good network. Colleges got good network, I think they get more placements. Then the colleges, we are in the rural area. The significance of the entire recruiting has changed in the last 3 years post-pandemic. The companies hiring the students with different backgrounds, and for example, we talk about AI or MLs or data sciences and XYZ. Today, if you look at the current market trends, we're talking about recession. How many believe there's a market, there's a recession in the industry? The recession is very minimal. The recession actually helps to offshore work to India. The job options for us, maybe not in the pressure, but there is a market, there is huge potential in the market itself. But we hide, and thereby we induce that negativity in the student itself. Right? You have to upskill yourself. There's a continuous, engaging with the students in different perspective altogether. And it's time for folks to go for lunch. I'll be rather in 2-3 minutes. As a corporate partners with all the TPOs across between Andhra and Telangana, I've done a lot of hiring for my company the last 24 years. So what we're doing from our perspective is we don't do technology hiring. We do more a psychometric assessment. So we build around psychometric assessment. We do the assessment, we do an interview, and then probably hire. And what we're doing now is we cannot provide internship for hundreds of students. So what we're doing is doing a partnership with a few colleges in Andhra. We're doing a mentorship programs. We are inviting our employees who are subject matter experts, willing to invest their time to mentor students in the colleges. Because we can't provide so many internships, right? So we've done this program to be successful. We are doing it to colleges in Andhra. Maybe how can this mentorship programs actually help the students to understand the practicality of the whole programming process itself? Right? So, inducing or improving new methodologies in the industry itself is such it's time for us to change. Coming back to this, I've talked about the digital platform. Really, my own example. I have 2 kids. My son is he's got his own startup. He's from an IT, his own startup. My daughter just joined last year. So she was in a hostel for 11th and 12th. Then she's come home after 12th and got engineering. She's so obsessed with her mobile phone. So obsessed. So we had multiple discussions. The more I decondition her, she's going very far from me. Then I and my wife sat and discussed what we should do. We told them simple. 3, as I told you, entertainment, education, and revenue or earning. Right? So I told her, I'll give you XYZ and mobile and start on platform. So she started spending time, whenever she's going to social media, a thought process has changed. How do we actually inculcate this education and revenues thought process into the students so that there's a much more prepared, not just for a job purpose. I'll tell you this particular topic called since our childhood, our school teachers taught us, our professors taught us in the college to ensure we have only limited vision. When it's a limited vision, we are taught if you do well in 12th, you get to IIT, you get 10 lakh salary. You go to NIT, you get 5 lakh salary. You clear NSET, you get 3 lakh salary for sure. We never taught people look above and beyond. None of us been taught that. And the same tradition goes on and on. And maybe the top students in the colleges, the top 2%, 3%, maybe have an unlimited vision where they're personally motivated, right? Self-motivated to look at the bigger things, building their own apps, mobile apps, mastery certain skill, and so on and so forth. If we have to ensure, in my office, I have this program called Performance Accelerator. It's called Performance Accelerator. What does it mean? I challenge my employees, if you have the guts and the passion to grow faster in your career, you can pick up this accelerator program. It gives you 2 times your perform, 2 times your salary increment year on year with a guaranteed bonus. So we have a fast track and a regular track. Because in the colleges, maybe I'm not an expert in the college training, placement officers perspective, but yeah, I think the whole system of training the students in the colleges, in the colleges, we have to change. Today we talk about campus to corporate program, right? We call it campus to corporate. I think what you guys do is, you have to move from campus to customer. Campus to customer. Today I think there's a new course started off in engineering called business BS whatever, right? Students are equipped with technology but not on the domain. The need of the hour is domain. Retail, hospitality, right? Healthcare. The kids have been taught technology plus domain. You drive into the customer street. For example, you take HSBC or banking industry. If you say my students are trained on the business domain, the banking domain, of course there are multiple sub-domains in the banking industry, wealth, insurance, XYZ, right? And then they have put on this technology perspective. I think you hitting the bullseye is hard. So the domain is something that is very important today in the marketplace. We're talking about the retail industry, for example, or e-commerce we're talking about, by talking about the insurance sector. The business is the most crux of today's employment. So employment skills not only grows on the technology but also the business skills. Before I conclude I know I wasn't very well waiting for lunch now. I'll just give you an example of mine before I close this, my experience, right? All of us have our own strengths, we have our own passions for you pursued over the years. What really matters is the 4 P's which are important, which I would recommend your students to drive this to your students. Until now, the student is clear on the purpose why he is joined next stream, we will not be able to drive the student. First is the purpose. Number 2, when he or she or we, even myself, are clear on the purpose, what we love to do becomes a passion. Yeah? When I'm passionate, what happens? I start performing. When I perform, I progress. Today's student, when I be doing interviews with the students who come in for the fresher intake, nobody has a clarity what they want and why they have come. So define the purpose of the student right from the day one of your intake, and then probably drive the passion towards by using different methods into a student, interpret the passion of the student. And then by default he starts performing. And I use this in my organization, by the way. This has been applied. And I tell you, 76% of my organization is run by the college grads. My profitability is high, my retention is high, right? And I apply these wherever I work. Right? The last one I want to tell you is there's this thing and he's got 3 ministers in his courtyard. The king wants to test his students, his ministers' loyalty and honesty. So he tells them, he gives them each minister a bag and asks them to go to the jungle and pick up the best of the fruits and come back to the courtyard. The first minister picks up the best of the fruits from the tree and fills his bag. The second minister, he'll think, why would the king have so much time to look into my bag? So he picks up some rotten ones and good ones and fills his bag. The third minister, lethargic minister, picks up possible leaves, trees, whatever, and fills his bag. The 3 return to the king, to the courtyard, and meets the king. And the king asks them, you guys fill the bags with fruits? They said, yes, the best of the fruits. They say, yes. Then he calls the jailer and says, put all the 3 ministers in the jail. Let them live with what they brought. Let me read how this relates to the TP. I'm just the TPOs primarily, right? The parent chooses the college based on the past history. Right? Today is a hard cash. Yesterday is an outdated check. Tomorrow is a promise. Based on the past performance, the parent makes a decision to invest the child's career in the college. Right? But how much are the teachers actually put their heart and soul in ensuring the kid is able the right kind of skills? I listen to my daughter now. All these years, there's more of students I talk to. But now I talk to my daughter, my son also is engineering. There's a lot of discouragement, right? There's a lot of, the negativity actually drives in the industry. More than motivating, there is plenty of opportunity in the marketplace. What we don't realize is, we look at the top 10%, 20% of the opportunity we talk about, the big industry. ICs like TCS, WordPress, so on and so forth, are in big numbers, right? We don't make them self-dependent. If the TPO is not there, TPO is a ventilator for the system. The TPO plays as a ventilator to the system itself. If TPO is not there, then the whole college will collapse. Then the students get at a stake. Right? So how much actually we as TPOs own what has been given to us to ensure the students of the colleges or the universities are progressing and actually are able to make a good break in their careers in the industry. With this, I thank all of you for patience to my speech and thank you so much for the competition. Thank you.
I request Adi. Sir, teacher. A quick poll is what we wanted. This was because we are stuck in a scenario and we wanted your opinion to go with it, which was an honest request. I have a flight for Prithvivasan sir and he has to take it. So the situation is, we are running a little late. So we wanted Bobby sir and Prithvivasan sir's session of fire chat to happen. Are we okay to do it now for 15 minutes? Yeah. How many yes can we have the raised hands? Great. I have a lovely audience. Thank you so very much. We will be closing it in in exactly 20 minutes. We will not be playing it. And then we'll go for break for lunch. We will have a little peaceful time for having lunch because it's a really good cook and the food is really nice. So over to you and
Good afternoon. So thank you so much for taking our request. Gone are the times when panel discussion used to happen, and nowadays we see everywhere panel discussions happening. So we wanted to change the trend at TTPO and give you an insight from two gentlemen who have been leading centers of excellence all across India very effectively. So without further ado, may I request Bobby sir, Meka Venkatachalapati sir from Virtue sir onto the dais please. The person who defies all odds and he was leading these centers at Virtusa and now he's successfully running his team at Pick Your Trade. May I have huge round of applause for Mr. Krithivasan. So over to you, sir.
So thank you so much. We were actually thinking whether you people would be really hungry, but really nice to see that you're actually hungry for thoughts and not for the food. But we'll make sure that it will not stay more than 20 minutes in the max. But we're going to try a different format altogether. But before that, if I have to talk about this particular moment for me, it's also while I would say it's a privilege, but also a tense moment. Bobby happens to be my ex-boss and my long-standing boss, and at the same time my mentor. Even today, though in my role I have a lot of doubts, and he's the one who has always been mentoring me since 2015 till today, and continues to, and he has been patient enough to handle me right now. Thank you so much, Bobby, for that. So the question that I have, Bobby, for you is, or would you like to be?
I thought I was doing the questions here.
Please, that's okay. So we've already jotted down a list of questions, and we thought it would be better to start with this, a different note altogether. So the question that I have for you is from quantitative hiring to quality hiring, the way ahead for organization. How do you see this coming up?
So the question is from quantitative hiring to qualitative hiring, what is the way ahead for organizations? Where is this question coming from? Is it because of lack of demand? Or is it because of lack of quality?
It's a mix of both, because 2024 happens to be a batch where, in all honesty, I wouldn't say it's a worst batch, but this is a batch which did not take up the 12 standard exams. So the quality would have definitely taken a hit, but at the same time, there are colleges who are able to say that, hey, we are able to still place so many people, and at the same time, IITs are also saying that this time 30% of our students were not being employed. They have not got a placement offer. So how do you see this?
So, just so I have understood the question was from quantitative hiring to qualitative hiring, how do organizations take this forward? And the premise for that is the batch that is passing out in 2024 we're supposed to have taken the exams in 12th exams in 2020, and because the union government decided to absolve them and exempt them, that means they didn't take the exams. But here's my theory. COVID happened only in March 2020. Nobody had a clue like something like this coming. So the assumption is from July 2019 till about February 2020, or at least at the time COVID happened, everybody was studying, everybody was doing their bit, right? Just that they didn't take that one exam, why would it make such a big difference? I want us to think on that. I don't have an answer. Maybe you know time to this answer. Yes, the fact is that people had to adapt to a new way of learning, home learning, right? Because suddenly we were pushed into doing that faculty themselves were pushed into home learning, right? Home tutoring. It is not easy. And nobody had infrastructure at home to do home tutoring. Right? Possibly the first 3 months, 6 months, the entire ecosystem would have grappled with the infrastructure back then, and hence we have not been able to perform at a very optimal level. But that's the beauty of the human mind, right? You begin to scale up, develop, you do your what we call the famous Indian word guard. Right? You start doing that and you figure out how to do it. So I think that was an opportunity for the faculty as well as the students to scale up the challenge. For those who did, right, obviously, the year 2021, if there were students who had taken up the exam in 2021, I believe they probably could be lacking quality because that year they got impacted. Not in 20, that's my theory. I'll stand to be corrected. Now coming back to your question, why is this situation or why is this question coming up from quantitative to qualitative? Is it because we're seeing a dip in demand, or are we seeing a dip in the quality of talent? Okay? Or is it a combination of both? Right? And you said it's a combination of both. What is the larger player in both these? It's more the quantity or the quality? What has been consistent all through in the last 10, 15, 20 years of industry institution influence? There is quality that has been produced from the colleges, and the industry is consuming this quality. Has the industry seen a sudden dip in the quality of the students, and hence they're saying we want to focus more on quality? Is that the reason? Okay. All right. So if the feedback is industry is seen a dip, then I think the question that we need to ask ourselves as representative industries, what have we done? What have you done to bridge the gap? And therefore, if I have a question that I want to pose to the faculty, to the entire community that is sitting here. Pardon me, this is a slightly controversial topic, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. And this has no offense meant to any sect of people. Right? The question that I had was, today we have, I think one gentleman who said we have about 2,000 or 4,000 colleges in South India generating engineers year on year. And they are passing out a percentage who will get placed. And the percentage who don't get placed obviously because they're lacking in some skills that the industry would need. My question here is, what percentage of the faculties in the colleges that we have in South India today would be able to find themselves a job in the mainstream industry if they were asked to find it today? I'm not talking about interest. I'm saying if the faculty in the industry, in the academia today, were asked to go find a job in the industry, what percentage of them would be able to get it? And I want to think on those points. Why have they chosen to come into academia? Last resort. I didn't prompt it, okay, by the way. It came pronto as last resort. Who said that? Okay, Venkata Shastri says last resort. That may be the case for the percentage of people across section. Now, we are expecting faculty, okay, who may have not been able to crack an opening or an opportunity in the industry, okay, who then chose to get into the academia, learn what is supposed. And it is not easy to teach because you've got to learn teaching methods. Trust me, I've seen both my sisters and my father who were teachers. I know how they had to pick up learning methods or teaching methods. So, one, they were unable to crack, and I'm not saying everyone did. Right? Let me give you across what percentage of people in the industry are able to quickly get under the skin of an academia when they choose to do it halfway through the career, midway through the career, or even end of the career, or joining as guest faculties, or we don't seem to hear that there's much of a problem there. Why is that the case? The reason possibly is that lack of awareness. Anyways, coming back to my primary question. If you were to go to, and this is the question that I have for all the faculty, training and placement heads, right? If you were to throw a question to your team members who are academicians, who are PhD holders, and say, tomorrow if you had to go find a job in the industry, how successful would you be? That is a measure of the gap that your faculty has in what they are able to impart education to your students. And so long as that gap continues, no magic is ever going to be able to happen and bridge that gap in the students that you are tutoring. You are going to be banking on the personal effort of the students to tutor themselves. Unless you give your own faculty the opportunity to learn what the industry wants, I don't think that gap will get bridged. That's my personal belief. Why am I saying this? Is we started something. You were the propounder of this theory, and Murali Padmanabhan was the gentleman who actually came with this. We started with the COE model almost about 10 years ago. We started at the Mega with about 500 campuses, and then today we are working on about 27 competencies, 26. I don't remember now. We exceeded about 100 colleges. And the first step in that direction was not to identify students. We said we'll identify colleges who are very interested and keen to participate with us, partner with us. And then we told the college head, saying that we want you to identify and nominate 2 faculty members who will take on the job of what we are imparting to them. And they take it on and go to the students. So it was like a train. So I think earlier today we had somebody who said faculty was trained by the industry. Thereafter they started imparting. It's not about the technical know-how. Trust me, the faculty will know the technical know-how much better than anybody in the industry, hands down. There's nothing there. But what I'm referring to is the nuances that will happen in the industry which will not be to the faculty because you do not have a real-life situation in the academy. When you have a sword hanging in your head in the form of a client who's not ready to pay you the money unless you deliver what exactly you and he had agreed to, right? It's never going to go in the right direction. That, in my opinion, is where the gap is, right? In terms of quality. So, sorry, I don't know if this answers your question.
Actually gave a clear view of how it is, what it is, and what the college should also do, and how the faculties should also be prepared.
So let me throw the contract at you now. So what do you think the colleges should do? We've tried the COE model, it's 10 years old. The industry is, I think, aware of it. The academy is also aware of it, right? Can we up the game on this? What can we do?
In my opinion, I think first thing is that the faculty should get more hands-on. Faculty should be well trained. Whatever we did, even whatever that we did as part of Vertisa's training of faculty and Vertisa training of faculties program, that was just a start. And that has to go to the next level. In fact, what we did for a 2-month period, where we had to literally lock the faculties inside the room and ask them to code and get hands-on, that should move to an extent where the faculty should now come on board for 6 months and they should be with the company as a sabbatical and they should get more exposure. That's when they will be able to go back to the institute and slowly come with the idea of moving away from the theory. Even today, the sad part is that most of the colleges still fall under the theory bracket where they feel that okay, I need to teach them, I need to teach them. But when it comes to computer science and engineering, it's all about practice. And practice is what is going to make them more ready to be taken on to be the next gen leader. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a lot more time. While we say that we are preparing the next leader doesn't happen overnight or even a couple of months. It's going to take years together. And for the seed has to happen at the college level. And for that, the faculty should be ready to go, do that at least 6 months of sabbatical in an industry, pick up a problem. The faculty should be able to work on a problem, understand what they do, real life, on the ground, and then come back and see hey, how we can now impact the technology or impact all those things in terms of whatever we are teaching to the students as part of the curriculum.
Wonderful. I have 2 more questions in this context. One is, afterwards, obviously, you moved to your trade. What learnings that you had at what you championed and grow at Vertisa, were you able to implement in your current organization? I know it's a completely different organization, not into IT, but it is something that you thought was similar, which you were able to look and implement. That is one. Second is, to your response in my question, what else should the academia do? And here is my take on this. Today we at Max give the faculty about a month or 2 months exposure in an industry as part of the trade, right? Which is great. Right? They get to understand the technology. Not that they are novices, they understand technology, but we help them get trained on specific technologies. But what I think they still miss, okay? And remember, this is you're training students, okay, who have access to information much better than you as a faculty. Why? Because you are one, they are about 40. Right? Somebody here spoke about numbers, right? If 10 of you come together and say, I will do X, right, then you have more access to information. One. Two is they are faster, they're sharper, they are able to catch much faster. So if you're not able to evince interest in them in your first or second meeting, you more or less have lost the plot of the students. The students are not going to look up to you as a beacon who's going to teach. Yeah, they will sit in your class because they don't have a choice, they read the necessary attendance credits, they will do. But beyond that, they will not going to gain a few. I may be physically present in the classroom, but I may be mentally absent because I do not see that relevance of information from you as a faculty because you do not have the exposure. To bridge that, you said, yeah, maybe 6 months. If you remember some time back in Vertisa, we used to run an annual competition program called Appetite. Do you think something like that will help here for faculty?
Absolutely, that would be a thing.
Do you think that will work?
100%.
For those of you who are not familiar, this was a program that we ran back in 2014 and 2015. So this was an accelerated program where students from various colleges would get to register with Vertisa when we opened the registrations. The program used to be called Appetite, A-P-P-T-I-T-E. It actually means appetite, but we are referring to students who are in IT and we are asking them to create an app. Right? And the best part was you create the app in an accelerated time of about 30 days or 45 days from scratch to end. And you own and do everything, right? You can think of any idea under the sun, you can ask anyone for guidance, anybody, but you are responsible for coming up with the idea, building the concept, building the prototype, and then showing the app to us, demonstrating the workable model of the app on the final day of presentation. That gave an opportunity for students to get exposure to the entire SDLC in the next accelerated time. So typically, if you were to ask for our own academic, our colleagues in the industry, what's the average time, cycle time that you are part of the project, a development project? 6 months? Can a project get far close earlier than 6 months? Current?
Yeah, it would be 4 to 3 years.
6 months to 3 years. So fair to assume that at least 9 months of minimum time for an employee to be part of a cycle and get some exposure. And bear in mind that when he's part of the project, he's playing a specific role, which is testing, development, right? Something. Whereas here, this gave me an opportunity to get exposure to the entire SDLC flat in 45 days. Perhaps something like this can be conceived by the industry or the academia can think of something like this to get their faculty members exposed to it. Right? You know the concept of SDLC, you've been teaching about it, but have you experienced it in the real life scenario? Not under the comfort of the college. And I'll give you a very simple example. This is something that, I'm going to let you answer the question. Some time back, some faculty and academia starts to say, what do you think our students miss? I told them basics. And I'm going to relate to what I personally experienced when I began my career. my boss told me to set up a meeting. So I said, okay, wonderful. He set up a meeting. He said, I didn't get the invite. I said, you asked me to set up a meeting, I set up a meeting. I done. Then he actually went and set up a meeting using Outlook or Google, which I had no clue. How many of our students today who pass out of colleges are equipped on how to set up a meeting on Google? Very fundamental, very basic. But do our students know how to do it? These are live learnings so that students will not have or faculty will not have, unless we give them the exposure. And trust me, these are moments where you score for your personal self. If I have excelled, in being able to do that meeting, and trust me, this is something that I felt was when somebody told me to do it and I didn't do it. And in fact, damn, I didn't even know this basic. And I kept cursing myself. Till the time I managed to encounter and come over that situation. It kept me down, which is not a great thing to have, right? So no fault of mine. I didn't know, it was not my fault, I didn't know. Actually, that's what I thought. So that's just an example. So the question that I asked you, what was the learnings that you had in the mission program?
Learning, if I have to summarize the experience alongside the learning, it was as good as starting a new company. It was like a startup where I built it and then I handed over. We started with zero, with just an idea, and I was part of the founding team. And from there to 0 to 1 to 10 to with whatever the necessary expertise that you require in terms of teaching them international, and we will co-certify them, and eventually we will also give them opportunities to come on board. So this is the kind of conversation we had, but unfortunately since this government, it's taking a little more time than what we anticipated, but it was well accepted by them because they realized that this is not something that we really thought about. And I told them that hey, you have an opportunity, you being an institute, where you control your academics, you can actually change some of the papers, you can remove some of the papers, and we can introduce some new topics which it will be beneficial for the student. Because how much they are going to learn here, are they going to implement when they come to work? We are hiring so many people from university, but some of them don't even use what they actually study. Now why don't we change it? And I see a good response coming from the, we have also signed up with one of the private university to do it. Again, so we will start in this year. We signed the MOU last year, and this year we are going to start the program.
Wonderful. Great. I know we didn't want to extend it, but if there are any questions, I think that any of you would like to throw at us, happy. And again, the intent of asking the question was not to offend the academic community, but I want us just to put on a thinking cap and figure out why are we having this gap that we see in the marketplace. Everybody talks about talent quality, talent gap, but how do we really look at what are the problem statements, what are the building blocks for that, where can we go and really start trying to solve what we've done. That was intended there. Otherwise, I have, like I said, I have 3 members in my family, there are 2 now, others no, who have been in the teaching business, so I dare say anything about them at all. Anything that any of you would like to throw at us?
Not a question. I think my voice is so low.
Sure.
Not about a question, but I just observed that you said for the campus interview, somebody asked you, maybe a teacher asked you what was missing. You said you evaluate for hiring junior artists?
I just gave that as an example of basic. I mean, as rudimentary as setting up a meeting, right? In today's time and age, if somebody still does not know how to set up a meeting, right? What else can you expect? It's not about the knowledge that is getting part of the college. It is the basics, of life, of basics of work, ethics. I remember there used to be a program. Sorry, I'm going off track now. For those of us who worked with GE in the past, they used to have something called basics of, this we call call center etiquette. So when you get into a meeting, you call into a meeting, which is over a phone. The first thing that they will tell you is that you don't go and say, this is Bobby here. There is no here on a call. This is Bobby from Hyderabad, or Bobby from whichever office you work in. There is no here because it's a virtual meeting. These are certain basics that we never were taught, we never observed, we never imbibed. But then somebody pointed it out to us. Once it's pointed out, it makes a lot of sense, and then you start trying to follow it. For others who really don't care, it doesn't really matter. Here it's only about saying, do you want to be really perfect? And that example was as rudimentary as setting up a meeting. Some who nobody seems to have followed or thought about it, talk it to the student. It's part of the academics. Now, is it the student's fault or is it the academics' fault? We don't know. But what remains is the student would have felt shitty for the next 1 month after that question was asked. And he said, no, I don't know how to do it. Sure.
A question from my side.
Yes.
So, virtues are one of the, we have virtues are presented by Abhishek now here. But for us, we keep changing. One of the best models that was built is the COE model. And sabbatical, if you look at, there's one challenge that academia is facing. That is, post-COVID, this was a very great initiative where we had
we gave the faculty to the industry, and the only industry at that point in time who took the faculty for 3 months here, we also deputed. There are a lot of colleges who got benefited from Pan-India. Then we would actually train them, and they have become essential knowledge. But post-COVID, what we are seeing as a problem is everyone has got used to being virtual. Be it students, be it faculties, coming out and presenting and wanting to put this thing on hands-on and showing that confidence, something we are getting lost. They've gone back to zero. How do we address this and get it back to make it actually work? Because again, COE, when you talk about technology, it has to be hands-on. There's no other way that you can learn it online or platforms to an extent to understand are we coping up or not. But how do we address or motivate anyone or everyone? Well, a lot of companies are coming up and practicing COE. So is there something that you can tell? What was your thought when you designed the COE? We should consider today, because we've all gone back to zero, to see how we can take it to the next level.
Interesting ask the question. I'm sure the edtech companies in this room here are not really enjoying what you asked now. Because they are actually promoting virtual learning. Right? It has nothing to do with what is the state of affairs, right? Was world not ready for virtual learning, virtual tutoring when COVID happened? No, it was not. We were all doing remote working whenever we needed it. We were all doing remote learning when we needed it prior to COVID also. But when that situation happened, we were all pushed to it, right? And the beauty of the human mind and the human body is that we were able to absorb it and adopt it at a much, much faster pace. The brilliant, I use this as a reference, right? In a family, right, during the COVID times, the father and the mother are working, right? And you don't want the child to disturb you, so you tell them, if you don't disturb me, I'll give you my phone, you can play with it. This is what we did pre-COVID. COVID happened, the child was asked to learn from home. And then what did we do? Told the child saying, okay, son, here is a mobile, you will learn from this going forward. Now what is going to the mind of the child now? None of us had an answer. But we expected the child to understand, absorb it, adapt it, adopt it, right? And And then after COVID finished in 22, we said, okay, honeymoon is over, go back to school. Nobody's paying attention to that, right? And that's the phase of time in life, when there's so much confusion, that they have in mind saying, what am I doing? Right? So people who are, probably class 10 and 11, they still understand. But children any younger than that, they will not really perceive why am I being asked to these schools? Why can't I continue with this? This is nice. I don't have to go to school. I don't have to go to college. I don't have to sit next to a student who smells badly in the vehicle. I don't have to live the bullying of children in the school. Here I'm able to speak the confines of my house and learn. So yeah, but it's nothing like brick and mortar, and technology is always that we get to do. And especially in the formative years at least, I think we should insist that people go to a common workplace, work, learn, and be able to get that position from us. Later you can always figure out where you want to be at work. That's something the industry can do. Can we change it back from completely virtual to completely physical? I doubt. It's never going to happen. For the simple fact that there's so much of economics that we see in it, right? You don't need to run building, the AC, the utilities. You see huge savings in that. There is traffic, there is time, the savings in that, right? The safety of the people also commuting, that also. So they console that and say, okay. And then frankly, during the COVID time, the industry grew exponentially, but your infrastructure did not. You don't even have space, right, to probably accommodate everybody if everybody had to come back to work. And lastly, why are we killing ourselves if the client is not really doing us on this? The client is themselves working virtually. Why are we killing ourselves? Unless they say, I want you to work at ODC, OD, then you will. So I don't know if I will have an answer for your question, which will say, can we implement everyone coming back to work? But I think it will have more a play of how these factors will influence.
I'd like to add a little bit here. 2 points. Number one, I'd like to take back the journey at Medusa back in 2013. If you remember, we had a problem back then also. There was 3 COE stages. We were trying to do something different. And CVR was one of the 3 colleges which we chose. There were 2 other colleges. One of the colleges which were inside the city. Since they had to come to our office to go through the training, but they didn't have commute. And CVR was the first college who said, hey, I will help you. You came forward to support the second college, saying that for your students, I will give bus. Do you remember? It was back in 2013. Even before the COE concept came, we tried it. We said, hey, the last 3 months, the students will have to do project. We have anyways hired them. We had 100 people. Why don't we bring them back to our office and we will train them? We'll use it as a period, and that is what gave birth to the COE model. So we were already able to address one of the problems back then as well. Today, like Bobby said, we might not have a straightforward answer, but one thing that probably I see which can work out is today's generation needs something called instant gratification. Show them something, show some extra carrot, and show them something of, hey, if you come on board and if you're able to do this, your growth is going to be something of this sort. And if you're able to see something right in front of us, we get that trust factor. The trust goes up 2x. And that means your growth is also going to go 2x. That probably might work. Again, I don't know, but at least in my industry, I can tell you that unfortunately we don't have a work from home concept. While hiring itself, we tell them immediately, Monday to Friday, alternate Saturdays, 10 to 7, you have to come inside office. Otherwise, please step out of the room. This is what we made it as a mandate at the time of hiring itself.
Thank you. So the answer what I get from both of you was answer is collaborate and continue to collaborate with them to keep pushing them.
Buzzwords as always. Thank you very much. Thank you, audience.
Just hold on a minute.
you said